pretty much why it. Didn't really believe in it. Let's keep an eye on Google, and Google obviously relative strength to the rest of the
Story? Broadcom. Brendan, what was that Broadcom story? I know these guys are busy over there, but Broadcom,
Google
right now down. Is there Google News? Okay.
Well, no, it was they're choosing. Well, basically, Google's choosing someone else.
Okay, other than Broadcom. Okay, yeah, because that's not going to be good for these guys. Looking to lose 180 here. I mean, 180 is still 5% more. But you lose. Whoa, shoot. Damn it, these charts, man, it gets me every time. If we lose this 180 here, a lot of wick bottom support, right? So I think that this could be a decent trade as traders panic through on this. Down 4%, we could get some massive selling off the open. I would say watch out for this 178 area, 178, 179 wick bottoms. I like those wick bottoms for support. They were bought up for reasons, right? And so I would wait out there. But the game has changed, right? If they were planning on Google, I don't know what percentage of their revenues were forecasted for this for their, I guess, Q1. But yeah, nice move down there for Broadcom. And it looks like it tried to bounce and then whoops to that downside. We do have, let's just keep it here for, I mean, I didn't delay on this on purpose, but let's just wait for a couple seconds here because QBTS is seeing some downside there in New York. 5 seconds, we'll get the NASDAQ imbalances, and then maybe we can see what happens. NVIDIA's been on there pretty good the last little while, so 2 and 1. So let's wait to see. Okay, so not much action at all on Broadcom. QUBT, a good name there. That's going to be another quantum name rallying today, just 22%. I have QBTS on the watch. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Rigetti, so, oh, Palantir broke 90. No, almost. At the end of the day, it looks like on the top here, all quantum names, IonQ, QBT, RGTS, QBTS, Rivian trying to bounce off 10, which is nice. Lucid trying to bounce today as well. It looks like today we might get some of these like struggling stocks back up there to the upside. All right, no better time to have quantum on the board as the top 3 or 4 names here on the imbalances are all quantum related. I'm looking at QBTS. Let's go find the stories from the boys at the desk.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned it, Sean, but it was that Taiwan company, Google selecting that Taiwan company instead of ABGO. IonQ popped up in front of me there. I was checking it out, but I didn't find any news stories on it. But IonQ is still moving around. There's Rigetti as well, 0.7 to the upside this morning. It's given back more than 50% of this move already. But all of these were massive on Friday.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be even better this week now that we've got NVIDIA's first ever Quantum Day on March 20th at its annual GTC conference. Quantum computing, as you all know, rallied last year but saw an aggressive sell-off in January after Jensen CEO Jensen Huang questioned the technology's readiness. So stocks partly kind of recovered but remain well below those sell-off levels. Some of the names that you're going to want to keep your eye, or some of the breakthroughs here have been Google's Willow chip, Microsoft's Majorana QPU. China's entered the race also with a $1.4 trillion fund to help their quantum project as well. And some names that you're going to want to keep your eye on if you want to trade these quantum computing stocks: QBTS, Brendo, Rigetti, ARQQ, and then IonQ is favored by analysts due to its tech partnerships with NVIDIA and a strong patent portfolio, they say.
Yeah, a lot of these that you just mentioned there to the upside this morning already, guys, in a pretty big way.
Yeah, but as you saw with that sell imbalance starting to come back a little bit here, at least QBTS is, and that's the one with the sell imbalance. They had made a 52-week high break in the pre-market, which is a big deal because now you're failing the 52-week high break at 1141. So not any time, 1141 the prior high. You saw it hold support at 1141 and VWAP before. I think now that you've lost VWAP and that prior high, that's going to be the spot. If we can't get back above 1140, 1141, that 52-week high, this is a fade back into 10. But it's already happening. With only 2 minutes to go, just a quick update. It's now, it is bigger. Yeah, so now 1.1 million to sell was about 600,000 when Sean first showed it to you guys, I think. And now 1.1 million to the sell side. So you're going to have to, get a little bit patient with this particular one because it's already starting to dump. If it can't get back above 1140, I think that $10 level is coming into play here. I thought I saw the other ones. IonQ is a little bit smaller now, and now only 200,000 to the buy side, but QBTS starting to lose that bit. basically VWAP in 1140. We already lost it.
Yeah, I wrote down 1050 there. I think we want to, I mean, I'm still going to try that trade for sure. Coming back in, I actually just put a bid at 1085 where we stopped. So, I mean, I like the strong stocks here today. I like QBTS, could halt to the upside. You know, we just had a nice, the reason why I say that is we just dropped 10%. So, like, almost, right? I mean, if you take the just even on that imbalance, we went from 1180, you know, down to 1080. So, you know, call it 8%, but, you know, you pop back up, you will halt. So I'm kind of waiting for that. I mean, what about an 1125 long? I think we might even take that on QBTS right off the open here just to play some excitement going long. But we only have that 1125 might just break immediately there. So, all right, well, we'll put a bid in, see what happens there. QBTS, see if it wants to ride or not, breaking through 1125. Oh, no, it's going to happen before this bell even rings. That's too bad. Okay, well, if it doesn't, we'll get in. The QBTS breaking that 1125 right into here. Otherwise, dip buy opportunities. Unfortunately, I was getting set up with other names, and I didn't have a chance to put that bid in properly down there, but it's there now. All right, I like Amazon. We only have 20 seconds left. I like Amazon dip buys. That might come in actually sooner than I think.
NVIDIA
down here at 197. NVIDIA, yeah. All these names are pulling back, man. The market went red. So, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we get something else early here. Tesla also pulling off at 250.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tesla pulling back as well, but let's get this St. Patty's Day bell rolling in 2 and 1. Adara, let's go.
Everybody, there it is, 9:30. Okay, well, we're into something. Oh, that was QBTS. So QBTS actually falls in right now. Remember, not open yet. This is a New York name, so in a New York minute, we'll get a good response here on what's happening. Since I'm long on
dumping.
Go ahead. Yeah, the market is not doing too much, but Tesla's dumping out. I'm only in quantum, so.
Yeah, Tesla just dumped at 243, continuing to go lower. Oh, you know what just went higher? Forget to stick a fork in Intel long.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, Intel just broke the high, so cancel. Now got to look at the prior day highs and VWAP here for Intel. So I'm going to stick, move the bids to VWAP on that, but NVIDIA also falling to the downside along with Tesla, but almost at that 122 mark. So Friday's highs right around that 122. We're going to look to pick some up there. Wow, Tesla's really dumping. And Affirm also making a bit of a dip and dive off of VWAP. No real test in that 47 area, but if it doesn't break 47, I want to look for the short continuation on Affirm. I'm going to get a stop in to cover myself because you want to have one out if you're going to go short a pop on Affirm. That's going to be the way to go. Yeah, these chip names, not all of them looking that great. I mean, NVIDIA almost went back into red.
Yeah, we're going to, oh, we just got stopped. Well, that's too bad. We tried Palantir there for 30 cents, and it did break that bottom of 87.50. But now that we have 87.30 as an out, I do want to try it one more time into here. So we'll take another long, putting our stop at $86, $86.99. If we break through 87, then let's exit stage left, which might happen right away. We don't want to get too excited here today about the longs. I mean, obviously the NASDAQ has dropped out here a little bit, but we'll take this long. We're long right now at 60s. We'll put a piece out in the 70s if it can come back up there. And then we will, there it goes. And then we'll just try to see if it wants to go upside 89.50. VWAP right there is just at 88. So here we go. Nice. Did we just get some outs there? We didn't get enough out, I don't think, but we'll put another offer just in case it gets, oh yeah, actually we did. Okay, so nice piece out right there on Palantir. We're just starting the long off of that bottom. The futures are trying to go, so we know this name can go if it wants to. And then the other name that we're in right now, we'll start it up with QBTS. So QBTS right now, a nice little long for us. Again, we only bought that dip. We're going to wait for 10 bucks. I don't know if there's going to be any money in this name or not, but right now QBTS dropping in. The future's kind of fading out again, and then there goes Palantir. Took some profits, lost some. So yeah, let's wait. Palantir not as strong as the market right now.
Well, the market just only got back into green. Oh my goodness, Tesla. I'll get to Tesla in a quick. Little second, but NVIDIA just popped down into the 122 level. So we were able to get some at 122. Kind of misplaced the stop order, punched right back in. It's bouncing, trying to get to the $0.50. There was some support there. I'm going to get some out in front of VWAP, 122 half, and then 123, an obvious stop. But Tesla just wicked at 240. Too late. Tesla just wicked under Friday's bottoms at 240. If it can hold that 40, I think you've got a little bit of something going there for Tesla. Absolutely dumping right now. So far, NVIDIA got to that $0.50 and another turnaround. I'm going to get an offer. I should have been offering. I was on the north side of 122.5. Going to get at that 122.5. We make a fresh low. I'm jumping out of NVIDIA. The market's bouncing, and this is headed right back to the low. Tesla looks weak. I mean, the only thing that's going right now
I'm struggling with that too.
Intel is at 25.20, and I'm sitting at VWAP. I'm sitting bidding 70 cents lower on Intel. Like I'm going to get picked up 5% up on Intel, and NVIDIA is trying to hold at 122. You got AMD, which is powering to the upside, and NVIDIA barely doing anything. So the strength over in AMD and Intel, with NVIDIA just kind of going sideways here at this 122 level.
Okay, I mean, we're back into Palantir now because I was just saying that I'm having the same problems, thinking that, you know, the market is trying to blast up, but the stock that I'm thinking has a really great chance to go today because Palantir was already up to $89 is going to be Palantir, but there it goes. If we break 86.50, we've done fine on it because we just keep on getting out on all these bumps, but it's not popping the way that I had really hoped. So I don't have any more offers right now except for much higher than this. So here it goes, though. We're going to get dropped out in momentarily here on Palantir. We've seen it flush many times, and we've been getting out. So we have a really controlled loss. I mean, I guess did it just break there? I don't know. That might have been a false break. No, I don't know what just happened. Okay, well, we'll get back in, but 86.44 then looks like that's the new bottom. We'll just get back into there. And again, we've just been absorbing this play. It's been fine until it breaks, and there it goes. So, all right, let's stay away from it, man. Palantir not catching the bid that we had hoped. You're already on NVIDIA, which is probably okay down there at 122.
Yeah, but look at the other chips. That's what's
Intel,
crazy about it.
Amazon.
Intel, AMD gone. 6% now on Intel and continuing to go higher. There isn't even a VWAP retracement in there. NVIDIA is holding barely on to prior day highs. So I was able to get to about 50, and then we reload at the evens, but the prior day high is 121.8. And if we lose that, I'm jumping out. I got 11s long, so it'll break about 35 penny loss if we do lose that bottom, but the bounces are getting more and more shallow. Tesla, by the way, market's at highs. Tesla just made another break of the low.
Yeah.
The NASDAQ back at the top and Tesla continuing to languish. I wanted short off 252 on Tesla. Obviously, we're not getting anywhere near to that number. And Affirm, same thing. Like Affirm at the open, it tried to get to 47, now it's at 44. So I'm not going to chase the move down on Affirm. It just tanked $3 on me here. So I'll look at VWAP for retracement to join this short on Affirm. Maybe we'll be able to pick up some Intel. And it looks like QBTS might have calmed down after that open. It's held on to the prior high at $10. So, you know, when it lost VWAP, I wasn't interested in it. Now we're interested now it's holding that $10 level. So I want NVIDIA to play catch up, but it goes 10, 20 cents in the money, and we got to get more than that.
Yeah, no, same. All right, so we just did the same thing here. We just got back in to Palantir trying. I just think the bottom, like if we could pick the bottom here, then we have a huge opportunity to get this back. So right there, we just got 87s long there. I wanted to wait for an 87 break longer so we just don't keep on buying this dip. See if we can play momentum. Back to the 200 period is basically right here. So here it is, man. It's 75 cents in the money, but we're not really going to celebrate it too hard because we have taken some hits here on PLTR. But here it goes right now. Spin it. QBTS right now, 40 cents in the money, trying to run that. Here goes Palantir, $1 in the money now, back upside. So let's just keep on. You know, we thought this had a chance to go if the market did bounce back. So now that we have it, let's give it that room to breathe. We just took a 93 out right there. Man, we're battling back quite nice in a new position alert right now for Amazon. We'll wait to see this one. Good trade there. It looks like NVIDIA is trying to go back up. We don't have the best price on Amazon. We were waiting for a little bit lower. We're just trying to take a VWAP break there of 198.50. So let's wait to see if this one wants to go. And by the way, there goes Palantir back up to 88. We did take that out. So just monitor those positions, man, because the market's rallying and this name's not. So that's something to watch out for. QBTS, nice outs there near 11.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more out here on NVIDIA. We just lost VWAP again. We actually haven't even gone back into VWAP. Sounds good, Fabian. Haven't even gotten past VWAP as we keep turning at that 122.5. So as long as we can hold the bottom, I think we're okay. Tesla's making a bit of a bottom. It's Intel that is 100% gotten away from us at this point, so there's not much to be able to do with that. Let's go to the desk and get an update with Adara.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on BIDU here. This is Baidu, Chinese ADR here. This morning they announced they have their ERNIE 4.5 and deep thinking model here with advanced multimodal reasoning. So AI model announcement here for Baidu, sending this one to the upside. Worth noting, we do have a couple economic data prints coming out here at 10 a.m., including the NAHB Housing Market Index and the business inventories month over month. Back to you.
I don't know if I like, I don't like holding on to positions with too many numbers coming through right now, but it's okay. Yeah, so the only position right now that seems to be in any kind of a worry is going to be Amazon. Amazon right here is just not going with the market. I thought I liked the name. I thought we got that strong retail number today. So I put down Amazon here, 197. We are in a little bit early. I'm only going to wait for this to break through 198. If it breaks 198, then we will fly out of there and see if we can get a little bit of a better price down by sort of where we pegged it at down there. So QBTS, again, good outs, fades right back in again. I'm not going to reload it. We need to see that one go. Okay, Amazon, we just talked a little bit about you. Let's see if we can get, oh my gosh. Well, we were just waiting at 85. You know, it went to 80.
Broadcom's going to go green.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so it just went to 80. Good. That's going to be good for your position too, right, on that? So,
ideally.
All right, so Amazon right there. We're waiting at 80s. We just missed that. That's crazy. So we'll take a 70 fill. Let's see if it gets back going. Here goes Palantir as well. That one is $1 in the money, but again, we'll have to wait for Amazon. Whoa. We'll have to wait for Amazon or for Palantir because we took some hits on that one. So before we celebrate Greensville, we need to get that back going. So yeah, man, so far so good there. I hope everyone's enjoying it. Make sure you do hit the like, the subscribe. Neil's back, so you can follow his positions as well.
I only got one, and you'd think it would be doing better. We just got another bounce off 22s and the prior low on NVIDIA, but it's even more shallow than the first. Come to the chart, there we go. So bouncing off Friday's highs, just got to 122 quarter, and the sellers are stepping in. So instead of 50s, they're selling the quarters now. I'm not reloading this another time in front of that bottom. You got to get going because the futures just took the high. Broadcom just went green, and NVIDIA is chilling at that low at 122. So it's not catching up the way that I want to. Firm is not bouncing to VWAP yet. It's about $1 away, so I'm not going to be shorting that. You already mentioned QBTS. It bounced again off the $10 level. So it looks like a bit of a double bottom. I shouldn't say the $10 level.
Here we go.
10.20 Friday's highs. It's bouncing off of. So if the next bar can close above, you got a double bottom to work off of. But NVIDIA needs to do something. It needs to do it quick. And here comes for the first time a dip in Intel. So VWAP now sits at 25. You can forget about the 24 long or 23.5, all that good stuff. VWAP sits at 25. That's where I want to pick this up. CEO's in tow, and Intel is leading the way here today. I bet you didn't think you'd hear that on this Monday.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Intel, I mean, you weren't here, but Intel was pretty good, obviously, off those numbers all last week. So we'll wait to see, but Neil's right there. Intel, we haven't heard too much from Intel lately. But there it is right there, $1.50 right now. It's another one. We'll see what happens with Palantir. We were just a bit early on this call, but here it comes right now. We knew we liked this name, and it seems like it's paying out right now. So far, so good here for everybody trading Palantir off that bottom. If you're a little more patient than I was, then you may have had a decent opportunity there to catch this. Up to 88.50 right. I think we could scream even higher. I do have another offer on Palantir, 88.75. I mean, I want this thing to work, so we're going to give it some room there as well. QBTS and then Amazon. Amazon by far the biggest disappointment for me. Just not like we had the long 10 minutes ago. Since those 10 minutes, the market has blasted. We should have just stayed true to who we are, man. That TQQ trade down there would have been great. Instead of trying to find bottoms and names, we could have just picked the futures, which we know, goes. So we'll wait, but here comes Amazon. Maybe we get some relative strength. Or weakness turning into strength here against the back of this NASDAQ move. So we didn't get reloaded completely down there, but I'm still waiting at that 81 to get that fill that we missed. And then I'm at 98s near 190. I'm at 198.98. I kind of put that there just to be funny. But at the end of the day, we want to see a break of 199. That's where the 50-period moving average is. This one's not super strong about this, but it's almost $2 now on Palantir. So we'll get that high bid, high offer there. 88.80, getting us that $1.90. So yeah, Palantir so far so good there, working off the bottom. That is a chicken dinner winner, says Darwin. So far so good on that. Here goes QBTS. We are really, really patient with it, holding this one. So let's see if we can get some more out. I'm waiting at 80s to see about getting some QBTS, some D-Wave, making it work so far on that name. But yeah, man, Amazon is the one. Oh, we just got another fill there. Okay, so Amazon is the one that we're looking for here. Let's see if it can go. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the market just continues to go higher. 0.6 on the NASDAQ, 0.5 on the ES as you're breaking tops. I just got into Intel in front of VWAP, but look what just happened on NVIDIA. Like NVIDIA, which was bouncing, it does not break VWAP. You just took low. I said, I'm not going to reload another time. If it breaks a low, there's only one place to go. Market going green, NVIDIA going red. So we had the right price, and it only got to VWAP for us. But you can't fight it forever. Next level down is going to be 120 Friday afternoon, which was also VWAP Friday afternoon. It's Intel, which is showing a heck of a lot more strength, holding above VWAP. It doesn't really matter. You didn't get a dip to be able to buy it on Intel, which is a good thing for its strength. 25.5 is a bit of resistance here, so I'm going to get some out in front of it, and we want to be long into VWAP on Intel. Strong move. Obviously, anyone can see that. Bit of a continuation play from last week, but you do have some local resistance here at $25.50. So if you get to 25.5 again, take some out. I'm now into QBTS. While we're mentioning Intel there, is it's now double bottomed off of this low. Double bottom and a higher low on QBTS. So I'd like this to play into VWAP. We'll give it to the local bottom. If it makes a fresh low, then I want to jump out of this stock as well.
Yeah, we're into Amazon right now against 198. So I do want to scalp a little bit out here, especially if we can get going. We do have economic numbers coming out there. I mean, there should be some big moves in for us right now. We're only long at 16s right here. So we'll take some out as we continue to climb a little bit on Amazon. We do want to let this number, this level hold up, but it's not looking like it, man. I mean, this has been a weak name, and I don't really know why today for Amazon. And maybe I'm missing something, and I need to do some more work on this name. But yeah, Amazon right now, looking like it just wants to keep pushing. Every single move up gets faded. So we've been getting out of some of this play. It's not that bad. We'll be red. Well, we won't be red on it. We'll have to wait to see what winds up happening here. But 198 break. We're waiting for 197.70s. Let's see what happens right here on the flush. Maybe we can hold and get back up to the upside. But right now, Amazon not looking too great. So let us know. I thought I heard Adara with a call, but you have to let us know there, Fabian, and we'll go back over there. So right now, all good as we wait. Quantum name, QBTS, flat pretty much off of some of these lows. So, okay, we'll hope that Amazon can bounce back and see what Adara's up to.
Keep an eye here on this small cap runner without a catalyst here. GLMD, Galmed has run in the past. It does have about a 1.3 million share float, so low float runner here. GLMD on watch today. And yes, in about 13 minutes, we will be getting some economic data, NAHB, housing market index, and business inventories. Back to the guys.
Oh, thank you, Randy.
Business inventory.
Oh,
thank you, Randy.
Oh, you got
yes,
the green
Randy.
one.
Yeah, I got the green one inside. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
It's probably fluke right there for St. Patrick. Maybe some of these trades will turn lucky. We'll see.
Well, hopefully the market can hold up on this strength that it's got going on. Okay, QBTS, just quick update. QBTS, there's your
Hopefully
chart for
we
a
can
second.
hold on to this. I don't know.
Chart. There's your double bottom at 1020. Nice little higher low, but resistance at 70. So we're going to take some out in front of that and try to keep reloading in the high 40s and low 50s here on QBTS, which is D-Wave. If you're watching some of these quantities, QBTS is just was the biggest runner, I should say, but Rigetti's lost VWAP. It's now down 2% after gapping up. So they're under some pressure here, looking for the bounces off of support. Intel just bounced VWAP for a second time off 25.20 here. Technically got down to about 17s. Still 25.5 resistance, so going to put offers out in front and try and scalp this. It's just the strength that you see in the market. I'm going to quickly go to the Qs here for everybody. Like you're pulling back into prior tops on the Qs. Then you look over, NVIDIA is still going down. So a good thing to get out of 22. That VWAP selling was your only chance to get any good longs. And now we're headed to that 120 level here on NVIDIA. Meanwhile, you've got Marvell, you've got Intel showing some strength. And Broadcom, which was falling off of that news that Google was going to go elsewhere for AI chips, is holding Friday's highs. It's back into the red, but suddenly looking a little bit stronger. So I'm keeping an eye on Broadcom here. If it were to flush, I don't know how much I'd like more reloads over in Intel. And then the name that I wanted short, which we're not, unfortunately, is going to be Affirm. And Affirm is about to make a fresh low as we speak. Can't even get to VWAP, but now you got a flat bottom break, as I heard Sharif just say.
Yeah, Sharif excited
it's
about that.
underneath its local bottom. It's down 13.5% on the Klarna update.
Okay, so bless you. So we got out some, the only name that we were able to get out of because it was at VWAP here was some Palantir. So that on the way down. All right, so we did get something here on our better price for Amazon. I mean, we punched out of that first price there, but as we just kept dropping in, I guess the retail sales, again, not very strong, but I liked this 197. I just am surprised at such a strong move down. So if we wrote down, initially we wrote down 197, so we have to try it. We had, okay, here it goes. We had NVIDIA last week, and it's turning through, right? Okay, well, we'll wait. Here it comes, just a little bit of a bounce. But every bounce gets sold, right? Like that could have just gone, there it goes. That could have just gone right back up. So there it goes, breaking through 197 right there as the futures come hammering right back in. I think the only other name that we're going to trust that we haven't hit yet, for potential trust anyways, is this NVIDIA. So let's wait to see now what happens with NVDA. Down here at 120. Again, I like the stock down here. Let's just see. This was the resistance level that we had written down. So, oh man, where's my stop on this? 119.70s. So now it looks like we're going to take this out. 120. Like now down as the market. So some of these names just getting beat up right now, right? I mean, this is what the market's doing, getting hit pretty good now, as we can all clearly see. So I don't know, man, not much help here. More to come, I guess, on NVDA. 119.75 is our stop. We have a couple units, about 4 or 5 units here, so it's not a full position, but it's a decent one. Would really prefer this name to hold. So hopefully that can come in right now and give us that little hold. It just, yeah, we still got that name.
D-Wave.
D-Wave, yeah.
QBTS.
Qbert.
D-Wave just held that double bottom to make it a triple bottom now at prior high. So Friday's high is about 10 quarters. You now held a third time. Still sellers at 70, so should be south of 70 here, and try and get some out in front of that 1070 level. Trying to get some 65s. Right now, it's going to print 63 and 64, and there we go. So we just fell under 1070. I think now you can get the move into VWAP, which would be $11. So QBTS finally making a power move to the upside. And yeah, NVIDIA did hold that 120 level. You were already mentioning that. Hefty drop. That's a mean reversion, no questions asked. But what I want to see is Intel hold this VWAP a second time. It just wicked VWAP to close underneath. So finally, we're going to get a bit of an upside move and catch it on the upside instead of back on the bid. So Intel working, QBTS now working, almost at $11 now on QBTS.
Finally, I mean, we stick to our rules, and again, like, why can't we just stick to the rules a little more often? We should be able to do that, being a grown-ass adult, but at the same time, sometimes tough. There's 120, man, exactly what we wrote down. It is singing right now. Amazon's been it's not a huge losing trade, but it's a losing trade. Let me put on a little bit here on Amazon. I mean, we're already in it. 196. I don't necessarily want to play the very bottom, but I don't mind trying that. 196 right there, 90s. If we break back below that one, then let's get out. We'll try this because we wrote down initially here, guys, we had written down that we had liked that level down there at 197. But Neil, we're almost green again here. So despite all that action early on, it's NVIDIA, and it is an absolute monster going right into P&L number 1. And all we had to do was be patient with it. And I think we're doing better at that, but not great. So there it goes, falling right into 120. So all has been forgotten for you. NVIDIA. Palantir, oh wow, NVIDIA, okay. QBTS also trying to work out right now. So yeah, man, we're really pumping right now. Good trading here to start the morning. We did have a mistake though with Amazon, but let's see if we can right the wrongs and see if we can get a couple. See, right there, we just put an offer and it tanked on us right there. Damn you, Amazon. Okay, so far so good. Let's watch this NVIDIA. NVIDIA right now, boom. another Dollar Club winner. So we'll see if that can go through again. And then QBTS, we just took advantage of that as well. So, hey, man, everything is good over here. We just need it to work out for us and hit those longs. So that's what's happening here. Good job. Thankfully, we were able to save our day with NVDA. Oh, that rhymes.
It does rhyme, but the thing I'm concerned about right now is going to be QBTS turning at VWAP there. Intel remains to be seen at VWAP, but QBTS is on the other side of it, the wrong side of VWAP. So it's trending down, and you've got a little bit of a bear flag forming. If it's a quadruple bottom, great, but I don't know if I want to reload it another time in here if it makes a fresh low. So there's your wick at 1090. I'm going to hold, see if it can hold that bottom, and see if we can't get something a little bit better than 11, but at this point, it's looking a little bit weak. Intel gave the fills at VWAP, gave us 25.3. Now it needs to hold at 25. I think you fill the gap into 24.5, if anything, on Intel. So able to work that one, be patient with it. We wanted the longs at 24. You never got it. Forget about, you can't worry about those prices when it's trending up like that. And then finally into Firm at 44.5, as that's underneath VWAP. The Klarna news, Klarna getting an exclusive deal with Walmart for buy now, pay later. Obviously bad for a Firm, down 12%. I'm looking at this bottom here at 43. We'll take it out in front because this is, I mean, it's a 52-week low on a Firm. It's not a 52-week low. It's the local bottom on a Firm. It's not a 52-week low. This was made last week and it just broke it. So if you hold this, I think you have a decent chance at an SSR bounce. Oh. If I was flat, I'd be thinking SSR bounce from here. So if it can't hold underneath 44, we're going to jump out and wait for VWAP again at 45 even.
All right, good trades. Well, we held out pretty good on everything right now. So Palantir, nice move to the backside. We'll put some out here. Wow, we just offered 15. Okay, thank God it came back into us right there. So Palantir is $1.15 in the money. Nvidia is $1 in the money. Amazon, we're trying to let Amazon breathe here because we did take a hit on it. So we'll, man, all right, nice move up there for Amazon. So we're long back at 197. Again, if we just had to follow our rules, man, we wrote down here on the sticky note, and I think there's no better way to win than doing exactly this. Take notes, right? There's reasons why we wrote this down. Nvidia 120, Amazon 197. So why am I messing around? And QBTS at 1050, which right now has been holding, and that's been a great trade as well. So the sticky note will run its course today and be perfect. There it is, QBTS, 70s, right? We're long at 50s. That's what we talked about. We like that trade. Palantir, some more outs up here. We were chasing this one again early, but we knew we liked it, especially if this market did battle back. It's Amazon right now that we wrote down 197. So why are we getting long here? Why? Because it was the bottom of these wicks. We tried it. It did not work. There's the dump out, and here's the reload back at a level that we thought we trusted here. So I'm going to get some more outs, 33s, 34s, if we can bump back up. It's not a huge trade, but we'll take it for now. Amazon, does it have a chance to get back to 198? I believe it does. So we'll put some offers up there, 197, 75. If it can go, we'll try that. But still, getting sold, Amazon. Not a great stock for me today, AMZN. We want to make sure that NVIDIA can come out near the top as well. So we'll take some out. We're still waiting for 122 on that play. But yeah, Baba. Okay, Baba's mooning. I mean, I'm not on that one. We could check out. We did have some talk about Broadcom.
Yeah, Broadcom's still holding red, by the way.
Yeah, you said it might have gone green. Well, almost did.
It did go green.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It did go green, but then the second Broadcom got green, it essentially immediately failed it, and you're putting in a lower high. So this is a key point, 196. I think if Broadcom gets over 196, there really shouldn't be anything stopping the futures. It was what was driving us down early in the pre-market on that Google.
Oh, Amazon.
On that Google news. So right now, we're still in QBTS and Intel, but a Firm, they got a bad, I don't want to call it a bad trigger, but we took about a 40-cent win on a Firm as that trailed out. It's working back into VWAP. So it's done a mean reversion here and working back into VWAP. I'll wait for it to get to VWAP for another curl, and if it breaks VWAP, we wait for 47 again. So still Intel and D-Wave.
Oh boy.
Intel bouncing off VWAP as we speak, trying to get more out at the quarters and then reload it off of volume-weighted average prices. So looking very, very strong here. Market looking good. Yeah, I mean, I just really can't complain. I mean, the market is looking very, very strong. The only thing that's languishing that we haven't traded yet is Tesla, and even that's now back above VWAP. So down 2 points. Tesla looks like a pretty solid reversal. So if you like something long, I don't see any reason why you're not holding it as the market tries to regain those highs. And forget about it if Broadcom goes back into the green. I think it's collecting more longs at that point.
Yeah, Neil talking about holding longs there. That's pretty much exactly what we're doing over there, my friend. We've got $2 in the money. We've got Palantir is $1.70. NVIDIA is $1 in change. Amazon right now is 40 cents for the long. And the Quantum name right now, do something. Get going even more than this. We are only in the money 30 cents, but let's see if Quantum wants to really get going and make this one sing. All right, so Amazon, we'll still talk about more of these positions, obviously, as we go here, but Amazon right now doing pretty good, right? Doing yeoman's work here, trying to get back up there to the upside. We'll see if that one wants to continue to work. We just got some nice pieces out, 197.60 and so on. So just seeing about all of these trades. Look, some of them are falling apart a little bit here, right? So you got to make sure that we are able to watch out what's moving and what isn't. And right now, Palantir, it just came right back into some of these levels that we had seen in the past. So we are not ignoring these, man. 121.60, that could be the top. If you look at what we've been doing there, just a bunch of outs in this area. Look, I'd love for this thing to run, but yeah, right now, who knows? 55 cents in the money. Now, let's go Amazon. Amazon starting to go. Yes, sir, Sharif. This one's starting to get going to the upside again. 197.65. Here we go. And what did we write down? 197 long for Amazon. So far, so good there, man. Stick with what we should be doing. QBTS working. Palantir. We're about $2.50, $3 in the money so far on all of these plays. I think Marvell is a decent long in your own accounts. Again, it's been beat up real bad. Marvell, this could be a name that gets going 2.5% today and still making those moves higher.
AMD's up 4.
Yeah, AMD's crazy. I mean, look, as long as NVIDIA goes, man, NVIDIA is an absolute monster name for me today. So if this one can get going, oh boy. And there goes Amazon, dare I say, off the bottom. We'll see if we can get to 198, man. I mean, you know, from foe to friend real quick, man. Me and you, Bezos, I got you. I definitely got some packages. Yesterday, I was trying to sleep in. My daughter went to play hockey at 7 o'clock, and I didn't go. I went the day before, and of course, Amazon guy at my door, 8 a.m., dog barking like mad. Adara with numbers.
We do, in fact, have numbers here. We're going to give you our happening now as well. NAHB housing market index lower than expected, 39 versus 42 expected. Business inventories month over month exactly in line with expectations, 0.3%. So lower than expected NAHB housing index in line here for business inventories. Market drifting a little bit lower here, initially poised to open lower, pushed to the upside off the open right now, though a little bit wavering. Of course, we have NVIDIA and a host of quantum names on watch today and throughout the week with the GTC 2025 conference. Quantum Day for this conference is going to be held on Thursday, March 20th. Tesla on watch, your TSLA chopping around a little bit right now. Red on the day, down about 2.5%, getting a price target decrease here from Mizuho, which still maintained an outperform rating. Last but not least, AFRM on watch here. Klarna, one of its competitors, who's also set to have an IPO soon, partnered with OnePay to exclusively offer installment loans at American Walmart locations. So AFRM pushing lower on this catalyst. Back to the guys.
Yeah, thanks, Adara.
So VWAP just got taken on to the upside on QBTS. That's D-Wave. I haven't really looked at any of the other ones. You're back above the $11 level, trend in, trend out, hopefully here. So if we lose the trend underneath VWAP, I'm going to trail out of this, forget about the low of the day or anything like that. Going to move that trail. I am back into a firm, as you heard the story from Adara there on the Klarna News. So only looking short a firm for now. It just got to not VWAP, but 44.5 again and cannot break out the $0.50 to even get to 45. So it just wicked the $0.50, jumped in, going to give these to the local high. So I'm only risking to this local top here on a firm, which is about 44.6. Firm down 12%. And yeah, it's not looking good. There's no better way. I can't really frame this. Firm on the daily, you probably have to let this one settle down because it's a fresh low. But if you zoom it out far enough, $36, which we didn't do, or at least I didn't do, good level here at 36 if it does not hold on in the next couple of days. Because they did have a good earnings report if memory serves. I think they did well on their last earnings. And
Yeah, I don't think it was horrible.
it wasn't, but I mean, Walmart's Walmart. You know, like you don't want to, you lose the deal with Walmart. It's like there's Walmart and there's Amazon. You know, it's you can't frame that as good. So QBTS holds on to VWAP.
Oh.
1140 was the prior high, the 52-week high on QBTS. And that's where this was holding. So if it does fail at 1140, that's an out, and then wait for VWAP to jump back into it. So that's going, Affirm's working. I mean, Intel's, it's holding VWAP for now, trying to get back to that top, but so far so good. Can't really complain. The only thing it was a misstep was I liked NVIDIA at 122, but we kept that
QB.
one in the pocket. Got out right when it broke, and everything else has been fine.
Yeah, let's go QBTS. Good pickup down there, man. I mean, but we sat there, we reloaded this name again. So this is going to be a big one, big one there. QBTS as it continues to go, man. Palantir as well, trying to hold out near the tops. We need to reload into something. If there's anything else that you guys want us to talk about, man, I mean, this QBTS is really starting to be something special. And again, there it is. Let's just... Look, this is a saying, but like there's NVIDIA 120, there's Intel 24, we didn't get that. QBTS 1050, we got that one, right? So there it is right there. Amazon 197, that was a good trade. And then NVIDIA 120. We have another one right in here, only 4 ideas. So, and then we had Palantir, which, are we going to be, yeah, so we'll be red on Palantir and on Amazon. So those 2 plays right now, we're gonna try to, again, it just fell back out, right? So hopefully we can get back in, but look at the market. This could be one of those situations where right now we actually look to potentially pick up the Qs on some of this weakness. So the TQQ, we can have a quick little look to see what that chart is all about right now. Yeah, there it is, man, dropping right into $62. I mean, this is probably an area where we could look long. The situation for me is that we are already very long. I'm not too worried about QBTS. We just got a good piece out up there. This will be a pretty top stock for us there. But at the end of the day, NVIDIA is going to be my number 1, and I don't mind reloading that down there if it gets into 120. But this TQQ trade is at a decent level of $62. We didn't write anything down, but this was a level from Friday as well. So we'll have to wait to see here. I'll buy some down here, and then we'll wait to see what happens at 62, put on a little bit more downside at $62. So 61.80 or so. He's at the White House because it's St. Patrick's Day. Donald Trump, the only Irish guy he could name was Conor McGregor, and he didn't even remember his name. So right there, 62 and change. Someone asked him over the weekend about St. Patrick's Day, and he says, oh, I love all the Irish. And then someone said, can you name an Irish person? And he said, that fighter guy with tattoos on his chest. So, but anyways, there it goes.
Well, it wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure he knows more Irish than that, I would think. But anyways, I don't know. Put on the spot. Tough for that, but that's why I just heard Sharif talking about Connor. All right, so we're long the TQs right here, waiting out for 61.80 or so to drop out. That would be where we get stopped out on the TQs, waiting for a little bit more down here as well.
Yeah, the guy that I think about is the dude from Bosch, the TV show.
I don't know.
I forget his name. It's Titus something.
Oh, okay.
It's actually, you probably like the show.
Yeah.
So Intel's right back at the sell zone of 25.5, and this time, if it fails, there's about a, what does that look like? About a million? No, sorry, 100,000 shares on the offer of Intel here at the 25.5, but this is a local top. It needs to punch through it. You just go back out to like the 28th or the 3rd, whichever date that is. 25.5. Next stop, if it can break it, is 26.5. But if we fail this break again, because this is the second time, I'm jumping out and I'm getting back into VWAP. So waiting for VWAP made a lot of sense. It's just broken that top. So I'm going to move my stop at this point. If we lose 25.5 again, I get out and wait for VWAP. QBTS is holding trend. It's right at that prior 52-week high. We got out of Affirm, our short at the low. It's still holding the pre-market lows there on Affirm as the market continues to climb higher and higher and higher. QBTS, there's that 1040 level, sorry, 1140, 1141 prior 52-week high. I said if we curl here and break trend, I'm jumping out and waiting for the next entry point. So there's the trend on the higher low. If we lose, it'll be like 1120. I'll jump out and look for a re-entry here on QBTS. D-Wave looking very good. It's just Tesla down 3%, not looking very strong yet. I'd like to see that join this party a little bit more because I thought I'd be trading a little bit of Tesla today. And that dropped just way too harshly at the open for us to get involved. So far, so good. I mean, NVIDIA flat, Intel up, Affirm up, QBTS up. No trades in Tesla yet, though.
Holy shit, guys. Right there. Let's go, man. The TQs, there's the futures, man. We are cooking it up one more time. I mean, there it is. We talked about buying that bottom there. Huge move up there. Right back, got half back on the day. So that was a great one for us to get out. I mean, and again, we're kind of trying to do something similar to what we were doing last week, and that was trying to scalp out these big wins, make sure that, hey, we can have something on for that party. We took $10, $11 on some Tesla trades last week. I mean, we're still here. We're doing all the stuff that we normally do. But right now, Quantum is just 75 cents in the money. That's a banger. The QBTS is 50 handles in the money. Palantir is $1 in the money. NVIDIA, Neil's $1 in the money. So right now, man, we have about 350 or so right now on all of these trades as we just continue to go. And I mean, for me, one of the biggest trades, obviously, as we've written this down again, was QBTS down there at 1050. So this is going to be a big, big day for that trade as we get up to 1125. Trying to show that, look, we have a lot of capabilities over here. Quantum names, futures, Mag 7s, and it just, there we go. I'm going to get another thing out on the futures here. This is a monster trade, man. This will go right up into the top of the board here for us. So let's go. There we go. Got some 50s out. I'm just trying to piece some out here. We did bounce off VWAP. When you go VWAP back into the 50-period moving average, even if we just look at the NASDAQ, you know, those are good outs. And look at that, we just come right back in again. So we just talked about piecing some of these out, right? So I feel good about doing that now. Trying to scalp out, trying to make sure that some of these winners stay in yield portfolio. And that's so far so good of what we've been doing. Good sort of risk management today, and good, you know, making sure that we keep a lot of these names at profitable levels, and including getting some out when we pop, and then even getting some out when we drop. So TQs could go red. I don't know if this drops through. We're still waiting for 6180 to break. If that breaks, then we'll get out. But we are trying to scalp out a little bit more here, as we've noticed that it is dropping in just a little bit. But there it goes, man. We'll take 30 handles. So good. Okay. Right back up to the highs again. We'll offer another piece out. We're getting like out 5% every time on this one, as again, you know, pretty good day. Over here, Reddit's 122. Okay, so Reddit got downgraded today. This is a name that I was looking to pick up on some weakness, so potentially on the midday there, we'll look at some Reddit, because I think this one at the 50-period moving average, sorry, the 200-period moving average is definitely something. That's 110, so we're still a ways from there. But
the other thing too is
to start as an early position. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I didn't even mention this. You know, I'm going to get to Netflix in a quick second. First, QBT has just lost view up. Remember I said prior 52-week high, $11.41. That's $11.40 on the daily. There's $11.40 in the pre-market. It got right to $11.40, and then there's your reversal. So I'm out. I think we can get another shot at this if it gets down to the $10.25 level, because that's where it held the double bottom, wait for the double bottom, then take the high low. Now you're really starting to come in on QBTS. That just lost 50 cents very quickly, but that's what happens when it breaks that trend. I was never looking short it, hindsight being 2020. The prior high, I'm gonna look for an out on Intel. If we lose the prior high here on Intel at 25.65, that one bouncing nicely off VWAP, but that's all we can get, up to 7%. The longs that we liked were down here, ideally on Intel. Don't wanna be chasing this move too far. So we're only looking for VWAP bounces on Intel, and then every even dollar is gonna matter to me. The other name that we've been trading, Affirm, actually eventually broke the low there. So the market holding green, and Affirm actually broke the low of the day. We jumped out, essentially taking about 90 pennies on Affirm, but continuing to go lower is that name. So QBTS looks like we got out just at the right moment, and we might get another chance at that $10 here. Essentially, it's just all the same thing, like prior day highs. Hold back in a prior day high, let it bounce, and see how far it can go. It was Netflix I wanted to point out there. If this will load up in a quick little second, Netflix showing a tremendous amount of strength. We've been talking about a lot of chip names today, and rightfully so. Netflix double top, 4% up. Not really sure if there's a catalyst. It's also regained the 50-period moving average, but whatever it's doing it well here over on Netflix. So I do like that name. And then Broadcom, which we should be tracking, because this was dragging the market down to a certain extent in the pre-market. It's still holding some higher lows, but has yet to go green. I still believe Broadcom going green is going to be fantastic for this market. 26 almost inbound on Intel now.
26. Yeah, I'm going to sell. I have Intel long at 1980. I will be getting out of some Intel at lunch there. Too much money left on the table last time that happened. Neil, Glad you're back, man. We continue to run the board here with the futures. Huge move right there. Back in, good trade on a firm taking 90 cents. We're in 70 handles right now on the TQQs. As there it goes, man, buying that dip right in and holding it pretty much all the way back up. So this name continues to work out for us. NVIDIA, again, not really moving. Let's get some out here at 7s. Did we just get that? Yes, we did. So nice little out there at 7. We could, I'm not too, I'm going to get some more out there. I just punched out some more once we broke through. Looking at this name, it's like not good. Right? We talked about what was going on with Intel. We talked about a little bit about, anyways, what was going on with NVIDIA and, AMD. And it's not happening right now for NVDA into their GTC week. I mean, this is the thing. It's sell the news, I guess. This start of this week is a big week for NVIDIA, and it looks like all the others may be getting that bump up. New CEO, of course. Boom, there it goes. Look at this, stair-stepped it up. Great call on VWAP, of course. I heard Neil mention that because any kind of a pullback, whenever you get a stock that looks like it had earnings, which today Intel was trying to gap up, right there, pull back into VWAP. We like it.
You got to pay lip service to that VWAP on Intel.
Yes. We've been a good one. We've been talking
for that one.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, you nailed it. That was a good one right there. Paying lip service to Intel. I like that one, Neil. All right, but Lip Bhutan looking to make some moves. That is for sure. And yeah, it looks like they will get exactly that.
There's a lot you can do with that name.
There it goes, man. Intel's still climbing. Hey, look, we're just like banging these trades today, guys. Honestly, Palantir, Intel, QBTS, everything just continues to go. And it's going to be a big day. We'll have a couple red names for sure. We have Amazon red at 197. That's too bad. That goes down to 196. It looks like we'll miss that name by $1. And other than that, though, pretty good. Like, you know, can't be too upset. NVIDIA's going to be a huge stock for me. We're up more on NVIDIA than we lost on Amazon. So, you know, if we're going to play Mag 7, you know, I don't know. I was going to think of like a game show here where you just choose which one, but we should have just chose NVIDIA. Yeah, I don't know. Now, Plinko, yeah, we dropped it down in, and it looks like the 10,000 coin there, Plinko chip was NVIDIA. So there it goes, man. Nice move to the downside. We're doing well. It's just we did have to figure out Palantir for a minute there early as well. We were dropped out of it. We dropped out of Amazon early. Look, out of all of that, man, it's 10:15 right now, and we are positive. So we can't complain. It's been a good day. We should be a little bit higher, but we did have some of those mistakes early. SMCI also, Neil, dropping into 41. So that was a level there.
41? What? Oh, really?
Yeah, that I knew some people were looking at, and I should have been there. We should have been there trying to buy that. I don't think it's too late to do that right now. I am struggling trying to get out of some of that Amazon, but out of that NVIDIA. But as we can clearly see actually right now, that's bouncing nicely off of that level. And then the futures, man. Oh, baby, the futures right now are making them, you know, couldn't be happier with that take. We were struggling there early with some of those too longs, but we stay in the game, and the game has been a friendly one there today for sure. So nice move back on the futures. I think we found where our bread is buttered, man, and that's going to be in the futures pits. We've been really crushing some of these plays lately, so we'll stay there. We'll stay true to the Mag 7 and all these names, and specifically the quantum names today, as they've been on watch. I mean, Rigetti, I know both you and I were in QBTS, but Rigetti's actually going the other way. So that's giving a little bit of worrisome there. Remember,
like to sell the news kind of because of the...
yeah, that's why I'm surprised that Quantum's not really... I mean, this name is still up 7%. And again, bigger short float. It was 34%. I could double check Rigetti's, but this was a big short float. So definitely something to watch out for as the future's now starting to pull back. But that's okay. We've got some pretty good spots here.
I just covered on Intel. It broke that 26 and it just wicked the top here. So that long, if we get VWAP again, I don't see any reason to get away from it. If you're going to chase a move, I'm not going to. Obviously, it's stair-stepping it to the upside. The prior high held and broke out. It held VWAP. It just broke the trend with a wick of 26. Right now, it would be 24.3, let's call it. And the other place to look for a bounce would be just the opening range high, like this little 25.65 area. So now I'm going to play a dip for a re-entry on Intel. I would like to get maybe back into a firm if it can continue its trend as well. So a firm worked at VWAP once, or at least close enough to it. I don't see a reason to get away from that. But now you're like 10-15, so want to be a little bit more patient with that name. And then QBTS. that got to that 1140 level, covered on trend, it might hold VWAP here. And if it can get back above VWAP, might look for a different long setup here on QBTS. But so far, gonna stick with the names that have worked for us because they've all been relatively clean, especially Intel. And then I saw, and shout out to Will in the chat, and you were just mentioning Alibaba up 3.5%. This is also respecting VWAP. So if you're looking for relative strength, which I would rather do here, I think that's the first place you go. Got to point out the daily chart on Alibaba.
Yeah.
You know, somebody been selling 145, 146 up in here. So it's been a bit of a trouble spot for Alibaba up at these highs. Ideally, you just break out 150 one day. That's just a bad wick. It's actually 140, like where we are right now is effectively these highs, the 146. So if it can hold above 46, I think you like it. Underneath it, wouldn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pull because if it's losing 146, that's the big level on the daily. So I don't even like a VWAP bounce in here. I want to see it hold the top end of the range on Alibaba. It's going to be about Intel next, ideally, and that gives us a shot at VWAP or maybe a short back into firm. What's NVIDIA doing? Let me double check NVIDIA.
It's coming back in.
It's just coming back in. Yeah, I'm going to look for more strength. If I find another chip long and it's not Intel, it might have to be AMD because AMD's respecting VWAP. It's already bounced it once, and it'll get there before Intel does. So AMD is, 60 cents away from VWAP? I think this tests VWAP before Intel does, and I'm going to throw that one up on the chart that had NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is not doing what I want.
Yeah, no, good look there. I like to talk there about Alibaba. We haven't looked at too many Chinese names, so good look over there, Mr. Roberts. Yeah, I think Alibaba's at a good sell spot for sure. If it, again, just had such a nice run, and I just think the market goes through ebbs and flows, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like what is hot. Yeah, write that down on your iPad. What is hot today? Could take a breather in the next couple of weeks and vice versa. We've seen sort of a bounce back in some of these Mag 7s over the last couple of days. So I could see some money coming out of some of the Chinese names, flowing back and forth into some US names. And again, I think this is all tariff related, so we'll have to wait for it. All right, man, here we go. Adara likes SMCI, calls it Smicky. I haven't heard her trade that in a while, but we're right back into $41 again right now. So 41 for SMCI. Now that I look at this base that we're making, I think it's worth a little bit of a long down here if we wanted to try that at 41. But I can clearly see, man, there's bar-coded areas at 40.80. So now that we've made it this far down, okay, let's go, man. The futures are starting to go back upside. We took a little bit off right there, but we are really cruising right now and loving life a little bit here. Well, we always are, but on the day, it's been so far so good. SMCI, we should have pulled the trigger one more time right there, but we did not. A name, Neil, that we talked about a couple times last week, because it was a new position, so maybe self-fulfilling here, was JP Morgan. I thought that in the banks, we did have a big sort of crushed opportunity there. And then now with, what was it, Klarna and some of these other names looking like they want to start to come to market. We do have Pepsi, by the way, bought out Poppi this morning, which is that soda company there. My kids are loving Poppi.
Oh, yeah?
By the way, yeah, it's like, it's a new kind of sugarless. So Pop, basically from what I've heard now, and it's funny that Pepsi did this because I was talking to Marissa about it. It's really all the rage now, making your own soda drinks and getting cool flavors and stuff like that. So apparently there's some restaurants and everything in the States that are really pushing this. I don't know any way to invest in it, but Poppi right there, P-O-P-P-I.
I used to like doing mud water. Is that what they called it?
They got bought out today.
Isn't that what you call it, mud water?
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
do
exactly.
every single one of the sodas.
Yeah.
Swamp water. That's what
Swamp water. Yeah, I
used to do it.
I used to do that all the time. Now when my kids do it, well, McDonald's still has it. Most of them don't have the self-fulfilling. Yeah, exactly. So we all like, the swamp water. You get like a little bit of iced tea, a little bit of Sprite, a little bit of sugar. My kid asked me the other day, actually, shout out to Adara because she's 7-Eleven country over there with Winnipeg. But my kid was like, we're going to go get Slurpees. I was like, nah, we're not going to go get Slurpees, but eventually I'll probably get them a Slurpee. You got to live your life while you are young. And
there's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, whatever, man. My kids are definitely able to do that. They started their CrossFit. They're really excited about that. All right, Adara's over there, man. It's 10:22. Let's go get an update.
this is the IWM here, actually looking quite great from a technical standpoint. Not only are we forming a little bit of support around those highs of days there on Friday, but also it looks like we're poised to continue that and push to the upside. Good look for IWM back above $200. This is CRVO. This one has really been quite the name as of late. No new catalyst today, but this is just continuation small cap play here. Next up here, this ticker is going to be QMCO. This is a quantum adjacent name. It actually does not work in quantum, but because it has the word quantum in its name, Quantum Corp tends to run adjacent to these quantum tickers with the 25% short float. Last but not least here, MGRM here, Monogram Technologies, trading higher here, receiving some FDA clearance. So MGRM, LAZR is also on watch with a 29% short float, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Adara. Well, AMD just broke the high of the day, so that's not coming back in. Intel continues to churn. That's just chilling out where we got out at 26. It's holding the top end of the range. I don't want to buy tops at 1020. I want to look for like reasonable dip buys at this point. So just going to have to be patient with that. QBTS is putting in, I mean, it's more of a wedge than anything else. I don't want to say it's a lower high, but it's still a higher low. As far as I'm concerned, it still has a chance to hold its trend. But we'd like to either get it holding above VWAP or just reload it where it got the bottom
stop over here?
before. Tesla is still incredibly weak. I don't know what to tell you. If you're a Tesla bull, you can pretty much forget about it at this point. Like you're just trending down after that initial pop. There's nothing good about Tesla. It must be a short somewhere, and I haven't been able to pick it out because we liked it up at like 250 to 252, and it's underneath Friday's lows again. Maybe we'll get something at VWAP on that name. See people talking about Palantir.
Yeah,
but the other one there, and I know we mentioned Alibaba, Baidu had a headline this morning, AI headline as well, and they're up 5 points along with Alibaba. The difference between Baba and Baidu is Baidu's not at its local high, whereas Baba's already testing it. Baidu has a little bit of room, like maybe a buck or two, till it gets into this 100 level where there's resistance. So if you're in those two names, I think there's a little bit more room for Baba. Daily fix. Ooh, here we go. Intel is on news. War on shorts. More news to come. Appreciate you, Daily Fix. We appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for that. I don't care what you call it. It's one of the strongest movers out here today. On a 15-minute chart, that looks pretty darn good. I'm just looking for some kind of a dip entry. This happened to be VWAP when it did a single red candle on the 15. Puts another one in. I want to look to go long again on Intel. It's breaking out. No fans or buts about it. I know AMD's breaking as well. It's just a very different pattern. Like Intel's with a bigger move, so I'd like to get into that. But AMD, next dip, it's just holding higher lows. Either one of these two is going to be the next trade for me to the long side. And Tesla, the second I say maybe we short the next pop on Tesla, what do you think happened? Tesla just broke $1 down, but I'm like, okay, let's just short it if it breaks $1 up because that's VWAP, and then it breaks another leg down. So of course, Tesla not caring and breaking itself, as you just mentioned. Got to get into one of these names again. Affirm's diddling in the middle here of the range, not at the low of the day, not at VWAP, so no need to get back into that one. At this point, don't want to throw anything away from this morning, but I think we're going to get some dips. The way the futures are going, I think we're going to get an AMD dip. Ideally, that's the first one because Intel is $1 from 2% away from VWAP. I think AMD has a better chance of getting there.
So I feel like there has to be something on Palantir. I mean, Palantir is dropping real aggressive. We didn't, because we, the spidey senses are up. If this drops below 86, like we're not, okay, here it comes. Yeah, I'll try a little bit more. We're only in this name at 86.38, so yeah, here it comes in. We're gonna drop this out if it breaks, 90s, so almost right there. Do we get like a little love back upside right now? That would be nice to do that. We'll take an opportunity to get, we'll take an opportunity to get some out in the teens here on on Palantir. We were waiting at 13s. Oh, it just went to 12s right there. We'll see if we can get it. Did we not get any? Oh, no, we didn't get anything out there. Darn it. Okay, there it is. No, that's a different stock. All right, so we'll wait. No, that was Palantir. All right, so here we go. Let's just wait to see just a little bit back and forth, a little bit surprised. We'll get some out now. Okay, Well, now we're going to win on it for some reason. So we are just mad at ourselves for averaging in on that one. But there goes Palantir back to the upside here. Let's see if it wants to go. I have no idea what that dip was all about, but I don't trust it. So You know, we got very, very close to getting out. We're long now at 25s. I know it's not great, but let's just lick our wounds a little bit here as we've made a decent comeback today after shorting. Like I said, we went long on Amazon. We went long on Palantir early. Both didn't work out, but we were able to be creative, get back. We had some money in the queues, and we still do have some money in the queues. What am I talking about? We are almost out of this one, though. We have less than 10% left. We have about 7% left of this trade as it comes back in. And honestly, I don't know if I have another bid down here. I do not. So I'm going to let this market just settle down. 61.80 was a stop. So I think we'll try 62 again down here on the TQs. So as I say, I don't have another bid. I mean, we have a bid. It's just a lot lower. So we'll put a bid at 62 and change. See if that holds down here. I think, okay, there goes NVIDIA. So we'll give some back on NVIDIA, but we tried 120 again, and there it goes back down through. So I think we did pretty good. Palantir also dropped out. So the reloads on the long right now, as the market comes back in, no good on those. So we'll continue being red on Palantir. We tried to give it a go there. It just didn't work out. And then NVIDIA, we didn't give much back. But there goes the drop back in as the short right now. People were mentioning that, man. Just try to stay short, despite what we think about this market.
You got to find something. The thing is, some of these names are so far. The weak names are at bottoms. It's like, well, what do you want to do? Like, I just jumped back into not VWAP, but there's a seller on a firm at 43.5. So before it was 44.5. Now there's a seller at the $0.50 here, so I jumped underneath. If it breaks this, I'm not holding it to VWAP. VWAP's like $1 change away. So if we break the local high, we'll get out. But in terms of joining something short, I'm just shaking my head. Tesla just dropped another like rather hefty leg to the downside in here. So I got back into a firm because a firm was the one short we had that worked, and it showed me a level, so we were able to get back into it. But Tesla, patiently waiting for a setup. Sometimes it's the right thing to do. You could have just shorted any price you wanted on Tesla and not really cared about the consequences, and it would have been fine once it broke 241. So this one is headed down. I do still think AMD gives us a chance off of VWAP here. It's now at the 105 half level, so it's about to make its test of VWAP any second now, or at least in the next couple of minutes. So I expect if we get a test and any kind of a bounce off VWAP, I'm going long on AMD until proven otherwise. It's just affirms the only thing we got back in. I just saw Showtime just said booby traps engage.
Okay.
You got to be a little more specific than that in terms of booby traps. But yeah, let's get a crypto update from Madera. Spoiler alert: Bitcoin is not up.
Okay.
Bitcoin continuing here, this pretty epic descent here, rounded top. Now we're continuing to these lower highs, lower lows. Yesterday, we seemed like we were poised for a little bit of a reprieve. This nice bounce here off of that 76,000 area. Sharif this morning was talking about how Bitcoin has a lot of support in the mid 70,000s. Fortunately, though, as of right now, pushing a bit lower. Some crypto tickers, including MSTR, are actually at their day's lows. It's worth noting as well, reading this Bloomberg article, apparently U.S. Bitcoin ETFs have lost $5.5 billion in 5 weeks. That is the longest losing streak for these ETFs since their inception last year. It's worth noting overall crypto ETFs, apparently, from what I was reading, lost just over $6 billion. So lots of losses here, lots of outflow with regards to these ETFs over the last week as crypto continues to be a bit weaker. Bitcoin technically still about flat on the day here. Ethereum up about 0.5%. We have XRP up about almost 2%. BNB doing great here, up about 6%. Dogecoin 2, Cardano almost 3. So really mixed performance here, as we've seen quite a bit now for these crypto tickers. Worth noting, though, Solana is red on the day. And make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Back to you.
Yeah, Solana. I only really like Bitcoin. Right now. I don't know. I have some ADA. You guys
Same boat.
I have some Cardano, but
It's all about the big boy.
Yeah,
what do you like? What do I like in a bit of a bear run on crypto? I'm gonna like Bitcoin, and
let's go.
That's pretty much it. Doesn't mean to each their own. I just try to keep it simple. I haven't really looked at MSTR or anything in the like this morning because I think it's been about the chips. First thing first, AMD's at VWAP, so we're into it for the first time today. I said it would get there before Intel did. Tight stop and a wick out on a firm. Remember, it's $1 from VWAP, so if I'm going to short it at that level, the second it showed any kind of a break, I'm just jumping out and waiting for a chance to get it where we like it a little bit better at 44.5. On that name, Intel, if AMD's going to get there, Intel now breaking away from 26. So this is the first hefty dip in Intel since, what was this, at about 950 or so when it bounced off VWAP. 25.5, kind of the target area to look for a continuation long on Intel. Yeah, the market's trying its best. The NASDAQ just held green.
Yeah.
It's underneath VWAP, but it just held sort of red to green and right around those Friday highs. So you're still managing to hold out some slight upward trending, but you're underneath VWAP. So I got to be careful. I want to make sure that I'm not long stocks that I think are a little bit relatively weak. And yeah, Tesla, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's making another bounce here. I think if it can get to just underneath 240, that might be a spot because VWAP's a little far away to try to jump into that short on TSLA. But right now we're long NVIDIA, AMD in front of VWAP, and Intel might be our chance to get it with the market coming back in here. 25.5 is about where VWAP is on that name. But yeah, gotta be patient here with that Tesla. It's a trap, Tim says. Everything seems like a trap, but you just have to be patient waiting for the right levels. You know, NVIDIA to me was...
Spring the trap.
This was a trap. It looked strong. It was the strongest chip name. It tried to hold the prior day highs. Hindsight being 2020, I guess when it lost the prior high, that could have been a short. But I wasn't looking short on NVIDIA. The best I can do is just get out of the trade when it loses my level. So if AMD does the same thing up here at VWAP on this trend, then I jump out of it. And it might even be a reversal, actually, on AMD. Got to look at that daily chart. The thing about AMD is it's actually breaking out of this trend line on the daily. Which it's done it before, but look, it wicks it and then comes back in. This is one of the stronger breaks on AMD. So this is worth watching the next couple of days because I think the second it shows enough strength, a move into 140 makes some sense to me, the 200-period moving average. But it's wicked this before on AMD multiple times. And this has been going on since October of last year.
All right, we're going to put an offer at 86.20 here on. We didn't get our ultimate low on Palantir, waiting to get this low right here, 85.20s. But you know, we're back into 85.50. We just got a bunch. We not a bunch out. You can see we're not up on Palantir. Someone asked if we were. This last trade was flat. We were able to get some decent moves out. But right now we had just bought this dip right here, 85.50. There's an 85.77. There's an 85.90 or so. So we're like. Again, but we're only out of like 20%. Each one of those is only 10%. So if we continue to fall down in, then yeah, we do have to get hit on that play. We did reload the futures down here as well as we got stopped out and bought it right back. Didn't realize we didn't have the right stop. Should have been a little bit lower down there. We got stopped out at 61.80. Looks like the stop should have been 61.70. So that's where I'm sitting right now. So we're taking basically 10 handles worth of risk. We're now in the money 25 handles. So let's take out some more here at 02 if we're able to get it. That's been our best out on this play recently. We did get a nice bump back up into 10s, but right now you can see the market is trying to fade out. QBTS still underneath 11. I mean, that one's going to have to go. All right, you've been looking at a firm. Okay, so SMCI does hold that level again. If there's any, what else you guys want to look at right over here, man? Bonds going up. Yeah, Celsius holding. Yeah, Celsius.
Merging with Pepsi, you think?
No, probably not. The thing is, Pepsi did buy Poppy, so we already talked about that a little bit there. Not a public name, but if Celsius is merging, that could be fine as well. A big name. There's $40.80. We talked about that on SMCI. Looks like that wants to hold down there as the bottom. It's only 10.36 right now.
CLH is strong today, though.
Yeah,
I think it's just up on sympathy.
Probably up on that play, so that would make sense there. So, yeah, all right. Palantir, guys, we drop below 85 bucks. We're out of this one, so that's going to be our next point of concern right now. We'll try to go long in the teens, and then that's it, man. Give this one like 20 cents. If it loses it, it loses it, because Palantir just basically coming in like nobody's. There it is. Look at this. There it is. Did it even break there? I don't know, but there it comes in. So one more time, man, our worst stock today is Palantir, and we keep on trying to catch those bottoms. Doesn't look like there's a bottom in, though, for PLTR. So see you later. Well, as the whole futures are losing everything.
Yeah, the second you said that, AMD lost its local bottom in VWAP. So we'll slap the loss on AMD. It was the last one that we waited for it to pull back into VWAP like before, but it just lost a bid there. So unfortunately, we'll slap an L on that. It doesn't necessarily mean Intel's done. It's still up 7%, but it's still, I mean, what are we, we're still 1% away on Intel from it getting down into VWAP, so let it fall. at this point. I'm guessing I just heard in the back get to VWAP, so that's a 99% chance that Obi took this reversion, I'm going to guess, because he's the only person back there. And there's a double top and a trend break on Intel at 26. I think that can get to that 25.5. That's where I'm looking for the bounce here. And then QBTS, haven't made a trade in QBTS since it got to that bottom, and it's trending right back down to that low. So the entry that I want would be hold that low, break this little trend that it's got. So lower highs here on QBTS. Either we get back into the bottom or we break that trend. That's the only way I'm getting in. I just got out of AMD and showed you guys that out. I guess it's taking a second to refresh, but that lost VWAP, so I'm out of AMD for sure. That's no longer a position for myself. I see people talking about Reddit as well. I know you were mentioning that at the 122. You just got to be careful picking your bottoms. Ooh, bit of a spread here on Reddit. That's spready.
Yeah.
Daryl probably likes this name. I just saw like a 30-cent spread on this stock and bouncing off the 120 level. The thing is, that bounce here, that's 60 cents. Half of that is just the spread of the stock on a bounce. So not really much of a bid yet. You just got to be patient, wait for Intel here. That was about as clean as it gets off VWAP the first time. So we'll just look for a similar setup. I don't even think I was that patient on VWAP. I got it on the front end of that move. Could have had all the same fills when it bounced, actually giving you the wick bottom. So allow it to do the same move for us in here and try again. Doug asking about Apple. Apple wasn't on my radar this morning. You got to pick and choose the names you like.
Was it up?
What happened?
Apple's been doing
I
great.
hit enter. No, I hit it twice. All right,
As
there we
of
go.
late.
No, it's a big fail on Apple.
Oh, okay. No, that's
well,
okay.
Okay, well, fail of the breakout of the high.
Right.
But it's not really doing a heck of a lot. But like a very clean breakout trade that failed underneath at 214 on Apple. And I don't necessarily love this one underneath the 50 period, the 200 period moving average. You're failing Friday's high on Apple as well. That might be a stair step to the downside. Intel's the one I want long. It's holding strength. It's up 7%. Can't even get to VWAP at this point. Did I miss a call to Adara?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
We're okay.
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're okay. All right, so 85, 71s or so here. We're going to try. So Palantir has just ripped up against us right now. It looks like it does want to stop out if we break through the 70s. A very, very aggressive play off the bottom. We got stopped out. We were trying the short right now. It looks like we'll get stopped out again right now on Palantir as that's continuing higher as the futures do bounce off of those levels. So, all right, let's go find out what Adara's up to at the green screen.
It's interesting, I think, a lot of the names that immediately look red compared to the rest of the market are going to be in that Mag 7 or big tech space. Broadcom, Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, Tesla here as well. But a lot of the other names that are not these Mag 7 tickers are doing incredibly well. These sectors really reflecting that here. Utilities, with the exception of NEE, nicely up on the day. Consumer non-durables being led by PG. We mentioned Pepsi as well with that acquisition pushing higher. Health technology looking great. Finance, consumer services, producer manufacturing, commercial services, any retail trade name that isn't Amazon looking pretty good as well. And within electronic technology and tech services, like once again, we're seeing non-Mag 7 names really step up to the plate. Netflix, Oracle looking great here in technology services. And of course, AMD actually looking quite nice here in electronic technology, even though Nvidia was really expected to be the star of the week with their GTC 2025 conference, guys.
Man. Yeah, I mean, my number one name is still going to be NVIDIA. And yeah, oh, wow, bounced off 120 again. Okay, well, that's where we're at. I mean, bouncing off, I don't think that's accurate. It's down to 119.50 was the low. So we did not play with fire on this one, man. I mean, good call out there because of the week that they're going to have, and maybe there's something there. But AMD, Intel, Broadcom, I mean, Broadcom off that bottom was monstrous, right? I mean, well, it's come back in a little bit now, but that's 187. Oh, yeah, we talked, oh, yeah, that's right, because I got frustrated on this chart in the first show. There it is right there. So we were talking about if it got into some of these wicks, it's making that little bottom wick again there today. There's definitely strength in Broadcom. I mean, I just look at like these bottom wicks, but blast up to the upside. You can sort of see here with the selling, you don't have as many, but that's because we did have some pretty aggressive plays last week to the downside. So we'll see if Broadcom can hold, and last week's levels were 190 that held. So it looks like today you do get that little bit of of a gift down there into 187. I feel like if you caught that, good for you. You may just want to hold on to Broadcom. I mean, that's not good news, man. Losing that bid to some Taiwanese company and Google saying pass, and still okay, up 1.57%, or down, sorry. But we don't even have really negative news for Nvidia, and they're the same mark. So yeah,
I guess it's just.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
With Nvidia, you have to guess that it's just they have the event and they're selling the news because I don't know. They got their AI event thing, and one of those, they're just going to sell it off because you have the event starting, and it rallied into it on Friday. So we're not. It's not at VWAP on Intel, but it just did a hold of. Oh, it's fixed. There we go. Position board was
okay, good.
For a second, but it is fixed now. It just did a hold of the prior low, which is 25 or prior high 25.64, the opening range top.
Back to 86.
Just did a nice little wick there, so I just got long just in front of 75, and I'll give it to that prior high. So if it breaks that, we'll wait for VWAP. But if you're going to consolidate off the prior high, that'll work as well for Intel. Looking very strong. Tom Anthony saying, look at MSTR.
That bounced up.
But every time I look at Bitcoin, it's not moving.
83,000.
So if Bitcoin's not doing much, but MSTR actually was moving quite a bit, trending back to the upside at least now. I'm just not very bullish on this name. And I know I say this every single time, but it's like, look at what it's been doing since just right in here. It was January, late January. You lost the 50 period. Look at all the resistance anytime it gets close to it. Would I want to be buying this thing up at the top? No, let it break back out the 50 period. It's almost like sell it every chance it gets close to the 50 period and then look away. But MSTR, right now, I guess VWAP if you wanted to trade it. I'm going to stay away from that bad boy. The other name that we're looking to get back into is QBTS. It hasn't really gotten back into that prior high from Friday for a second salvo at it. Still worth trending. It's still trending down. The market's starting to come back though. And the other way I wanted to get in would be there is consecutive lower highs, break this trend, and then just look for a long in here off like a 1080 break on QBTS, or D-Wave, I should say. So if this one can break this little trend, just sort of connecting the dots since the open or the lines in the chart, and we'll look for a bit of a break of this trend for a long in QBTS. But not much happening, on this name since that initial pop. That you got dropped, gave you the pop. It's just been trending down since. So I want to make sure it's breaking that trend before we get back into it. Patience, patience, patience. It's still up on the day, obviously, but there's a difference between something which is trending up and something which is trending down. Let's see if Intel can hold it. NASDAQ's at VWAP, though. This is a pretty big point. The NASDAQ loses VWAP. I got to look for a short somewhere because we've only been in a firm. It worked, but that's the only short we had. I feel like Tesla is the missed opportunity. Yeah. And that could be at VWAP the same time NASDAQ is testing it here.
All right. So we did basically exactly that. We're testing VWAP up here on the TQs. So we got stopped out at the very bottom. We're still up on this stock. It's still going to be my #1 stock. Did we just get a bid down there? Yes, we did. So there it is, man. We just went short at 31s, and we just got right at the bottom. Oh, here, I can zoom in a little bit. Right at the bottom there, what is that? 62.10. So a good fill there for us. Let's see if it continues lower. I'm going to take another fill at 13s if we can get it. Another 5%. Oh, we just missed it. Oh, maybe we'll get it. But at the end of the day, nice little retracement back in. We got more than the 200 period. There we go. We got, did we just get 10s again? Yeah. So now we'll see if we can play back. I mean, that stop out sucks. We will see if we can get something else down here. 61.85. I think that's worth putting a bid at least down there. So we'll see if we can get something down there, 61.80s, and let that continue to work out for us. Maybe I'll put another 5% at 62.03s just to get out ahead of that little wick down there and see if we can support those prices. I don't think it really matters, though. I mean, when we look at TQs, specific prices, I mean, we're really looking at the NASDAQ. This is a triple levered, so if you think the NASDAQ can get back down into here, it'll chart the same as the TQs. So I would say just use charting as your levels. You don't have to say like, okay, it's an option eligible price or anything like that. Most people won't trade TQs like that. So we'll wait to see what goes on there. We do have, we'll talk about this when we get back from 10:50. We have our What's for Lunch segment. Now that we get those every single day, we'll be able to cover that. Google's still downside. Again, another name that, we've liked for the long side of things, but not really today, down 0.4 as right now Google, I think, you know, looking back, I think this is going to wind up being a great price for Google. It's just, yeah, like
cheap.
you got to get into it first, right? I mean, I just don't know if we want to buy that falling knife, but I feel like it's maybe leveled off. We'll wait for 165, like the play there for Google. All right, the TQs have come all the way back upside now, which is fine. I mean, QBTS is really starting to go here. QBTS is actually now at VWAP, so oops, that's a New York name. We're going to have to get something out now that we're at 96s if we can. I just offered some 96s. There goes. Are we going to get them? I'm at 96, 97. There it is. Well, we're at 96, so there it is. Nice move higher there for QBTS as we just hold. We should have got longer again. I didn't even realize it was at 1050 as we battle on Palantir and we battle with the futures. We didn't even realize that. That was a good reload spot there for sure. Let's see if this quantum name can get going. QBTS here, hopefully late. So yeah, that's about it for me. Just trying to chill out, looking at those names. Shopify's been bad recently. Mara.
Really?
Mara, $12. We'll have to figure out what's going on with Mara down there.
Did it hit 12?
Yeah, it did. It hit 12 a little bit the last
Oh,
week.
no, I meant today. It didn't.
No, close enough. Last little week there, 12, 13. I like Mara. We talked about that. We actually talked about going long 14s and then watching to see what happens at 12. Well, you got that opportunity to see what happens at 12, and it was a hold. So nice hold there at 12 for Mara. And I think if you're going to do anything long safe in Bitcoin, I think Mara might be the one, man. I don't think it's that bad down there. So worth a look down at 12 if you can get it. We just took a little bit more out on the futures as we came right back into the 200 period. So looking for some love here on that one. Yeah, Sebastian, trying to have some diamond hands here, but I don't know if that's going to make any sense here. Not much happening. QBTS was a good out up there for sure. But other than that, man, yeah, diamond hands hasn't been working out too well for us. Palantir might be a short, but I don't know. 87 is where the 50-period moving average is, so I'm not trying to get too excited about that play. 1050 getting ready for a call to Adara soon with Money Talks.
Yeah, not quite yet, but just a little bit. Come on, Intel, go. I did not get that break of trend on QBTS. It happened a little bit quickly. This was the candle on the trend break. It was basically, it went like 30 pennies in one shot up there on QBTS. So this little trend break there, by the time it confirmed the move, like you're already chilling at 11 bucks. So there was no re-entry for me on that. We're going to go up to the desk, Money Talks with Adara. It's not VWAP that I'm long on Intel. It's just that prior high. So it's holding the morning range top. You're going to look for it out in front of 26 again because 26 is resistance. Let's go talk about the strength in the US dollar.
Yeah,
maybe?
Why not?
No strength to speak of here in the US dollar. This is actually looking pretty rough here for the DXY. We broke a 7-day selling streak last week here, pushing higher for Wednesday and Thursday, but Friday was lower. We actually have a bit of a double top situation in this daily chart. Now today we're looking to take out all of the gains that we made over those last 2 positive days. So it's hard to find any strength here in the DXY. In terms of economic catalysts, by far the largest one that we're going to be getting this week is going to come on Wednesday with the FOMC rate decision. We are expecting that there will be no cut. About 99% of participants expecting no change in the rate. So no hike or no cut. Here is, though, actually the odds for May. By May, we now have 24% of participants pricing in a 25 basis point cut and 0.2% of participants actually pricing in a 50 basis point cut. So we're still looking like we're not going to get any cuts for the March meeting, but now participants are starting to price in some potential cuts in May. Though again, not significant, less than 50% of participants pricing in a cut. It's also worth noting here, GTC 2025, NVIDIA's conference, this is just more for the market. We'll be getting a keynote from CEO Jensen Huang at 10 a.m. So stay tuned for that tomorrow, about 24 hours from now, guys. Back to you.
Yes, we are very, very excited for Jensen. We're also very, very excited to let you know that we do have e-signal on lockdown for everybody once again this month. It is your first month free. We are waiving all, well, we are not, e-signal is waiving that first month fee. So make sure you trade smarter, not harder. Get that elite trading experience with e-signal. Look, man, infinite data, chart up to 500 symbols at once, connect over 50 plus brokers. Check out the scans that they, again, it's the 500 symbols in the scans that really matters to me. No slowdown, nothing like that. Great technology, great support as well. The back testing, unbelievable. Tick charts, second charts, everything. 1 second charts, right? All for free. If you get that platform, it is e-signal. It's an all-in-one platform. Do not forget about executing at the peak level, and you can do that using the best charting software around, that is eSignal. So scan that QR code there below for the signals of E. But we have to figure out one thing first, quickly, because people are waiting, and they want to know.
The signals of E,
yeah, the signals of E, yeah, it's lunchtime. All right, so this morning, people would be very, very happy to know that we had hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Fresh fruit salad, whole fruit. Yeah, they're just bringing that. You got to like crack it yourself, and you know you got to put that work in there, Mr. Roberts. Whole fruit, pastries and bagels, man. They got some nice. I'm going to put something up on Instagram, I think. I sent it over there to the wife. She wanted to put some behind the scenes up. Oh, there it is right here. Here it is right here. So it is up on Instagram. Join me on Instagram. Hey, what's up, Mr. O'Leary, a cockroach? We'll get that guy in a minute. There it is. So this is what was for breakfast. Here, you see the green pants? We have... there's the hard-boiled eggs that Neil has right there. We've got some pastries, and then as you see what our friend Randy brings through as well, and there's the fruit salad. So go follow me at Trader TV Sean, also on Instagram. But many of you are wondering what's for lunch. I mean, that's the whole point of what we just hit right there. So today's a pretty good one, man. I mean, I'm excited for it. I don't know what's going to be on the salad, but it is jerk chicken. So we'll say what's up to jerk chicken today. Rice and peas, seasonal veggies, and island coleslaw. So that should be really good as well. I'm assuming island coleslaw is more of a vinaigrette based, so we'll see what happens right there. But that is what is a tasty for lunch. So yeah, go find me there on Insta and you can see that. So that was a nice little piece put out there. Thank you to Marisa for that one. All right, QBTS, let's go, man. It is a hot dog kind of a trading day there for QBTS because that's starting to go back upside. Can we get the 200 period moving average? Despite what these futures are trying to do, it's QBTS right now making them sing to that level. We did get a good fill as we were talking about eSignal down there at 62. It doesn't hit me at 80s. That's what we're waiting for. Next fill down here, we're actually waiting at 87. So if we can get that drip, that would be nice. 87s for, you know what, I'm gonna take a 97. There we go, we'll just punch out a little bit right there as we do get this move down. So I'm bidding 87s, hands crossed. There it is. Did we get it? No, we did not. Give me that. Yes, sir. There it is. So a nice little trade there for us on the Qs, trying to get that back into our glory days. Number one stock for me still, well, actually, it's now TQQs. So there it is. So far, so good here. Let's see if we can get downside now on the TQs. NVIDIA and TQs good. Palantir, very, very bad for me today. So we'd have to, you know, fix that. But so far, so good here. Is the NASDAQ, Neil?
Get the Qs back into the boss
Make
level.
the Qs great again.
Because you said glory days. Glory days, the boss.
Is that,
That's
Bruce
Springsteen.
Springsteen? Yeah. That's a good one there, man, yeah. Especially born in the USA. You know, we'll have to maybe take some US stocks. Hey, Palantir's a US company.
Oh, what was the one where there was a video and it was like the girl from Friends was dancing?
Oh, Aniston?
No, it was the other one.
Oh, Courtney, yes, she was on stage.
On stage.
Courtney Cox.
What the heck's the name of it? Dancing in the Dark.
Dancing in the Dark.
And she's doing. Did you know that
Thank you,
the Carlton dance was based off of her?
Oh, really?
That.
Get down.
So I'm back short in a firm. Look, we're going to take it. It's almost at VWAP, consolidating at the 44 level. As it's starting to work back in, we're going to short this one for the third time here today. Technically the fourth, although same price. I call it, it's the third time, because this was just a reload at the same price. So we're in it for the third time. Intel, we were able to grab it the first time off of 25.65. That prior high, got some out at like 82, but now it's trending back into VWAP. So if it loses VWAP, I want to be out of that name. And then QBTS, third one, and we have a couple minutes to go. This is not a VWAP trade. It broke that trend line. I'm looking for the hold of that 1080 area. So this was, I didn't get the trend break. I'm going to pull it right back in and then go long off the prior bar high here on QBTS. It's one of those days where it should be short more because the market looks weak, but we're back into the one short that worked out best for us. I'm going to make sure that we stick with it. The low of the day is 42, but I'm looking at 43. Pre-market low and all kinds of resistance down there. I want to be covering out in front of that $43. We're short at 43.88 here on, oh wow, Tesla just broke another low again. Yeah, I think the short's going to be just fine. Tesla just went 5% down.
Oh boy,
it's a nasty day overall in terms of reversals. Nvidia just broke low of the day, but I think the shorts are going to start to work. Got to take some profit on the way down though.
Yeah, good. Let's go. That's exactly what we've been doing. We've been taking a lot of profit on the way down here on some of these names. So let's see if we could just sort of keep that vibe going. We do want to get lower. We are at the lows of the day right now. We've just been taking out some levels here. I don't mind these prices at all. If we can get out, then that is great. We do know that there's the ebbs and flows in this market, as we keep on saying, and like I don't take that lightly. Like there is awesome opportunities to get back going. And we talked about this. Congratulations, Obi, again. Like we talk about taking size here, and that's the one thing that we got a lot of respect for Obi last week, putting on some shares and actually going for it. So shout out to Obi there, shorting Intel as we talk about that name. I know Neil mentioned that earlier, so shout out right there, man. It makes a big difference when you're here to trade, and we had a great week. We're glad to have Neil back. Obi last week, Joe last week, absolutely great. Joe did all day twice, so shout out to Joe. All day, baby. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So shout out to those boys who are getting ready for the midday coming up one more time. All right, here we go. The TQs, well, every day, right? Every day midday time. All right, the TQs continue its march a little bit lower. Quantum name, we're light on this now. We have about less than 10%, but more. Let's call it 7%. I don't know. Random fills here, but nice move to the upside there. We would take advantage of that at 11. And again, you got to make money where the money lies, right? I mean, you can't try to force things right there. What we did, though, is we threw our whole day away pretty much trying to force Palantir. And it just, the bids weren't there. The short, we got stopped out of the short as well. It looks like 86.50 is going to be a key level. So when we get back from the gym, we'll have a look quickly at Palantir and figure out what's going on there. But still, 70 handles in the money. Futures looking weak. Hopefully we can break a little bit lower. That'd be nice if that was the case. So that's what we're going to wait for here. And yeah, let's hope for a continued push downside for my positions anyways. Quantum's not really going to follow the market. We only have one trade on that is short the futures. And honestly, we were going long the futures until we broke VWAP. And have that ability to flip up your game. Like we were long. It's going to be the number one name. P&L, it's not even close for me today. It's going to be TQs. And so that was a huge move there. Nice move to the downside right now. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening. But it's QBTS, big one for me. TQ's big one for me. And then NVIDIA. Where our losers lie is Amazon, which thankfully we didn't fight this one because I like the long there, but do not fight it. Get out of the way there. And then Palantir is going to be the big one for an L today. So we'll have to wait for all of that. But yeah, good day right there so far. I don't know. What's your best trade today? Do you have one?
Well,
that's the best.
The firm's been clean. But I have to say, like, Intel, until just now, was the cleanest one. It'll be dependent because we're backing it off of VWAP. And at this point, if it loses VWAP, then it's likely to be a firm. QBTS was pretty clean this morning as well. Otherwise, I gotta still think about Tesla here because that's a big miss for me. So this is a firm trying to bounce off VWAP as we speak. QBTS, we had the one reversion trade when it bounced off the prior high. But it's hard to be happy liking Tesla short and not having a single trade on it today. So, you know, it's at the low of the day. I never found my way into this stock. So I'm pretty disappointed by that. It never broke anywhere near 250 or 252. There wasn't like a clean-ish VWAP trade early. You could have pushed the envelope and just, after the opening range, should have shorted it off the prior day low, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. The best thing I can do now is maybe try to join the trend at lunchtime or maybe a little bit later on. Let's try to be a little bit patient with it. I see DJ Mix is long TSLL, so good luck to you. Mix. I think this has been one of the better movers today, Tesla. Unfortunately, just no executions on it yet. Want to try to get into this at some point, shorting those pops. It is 11 o'clock, which does mean we're supposed to throw to the midday.
Get down.
So
yeah,
it's Sharif the professor
they're born ready.
And the man who does not like pie or cookies. And that is going to be Joey Options. No, I'm just having
No, it's cookies is okay. It's cake.
No, someone said he didn't like
chocolate
cookies.
chip. No, he doesn't like. He likes oatmeal cookies.
Oh, oatmeal cookies are the best. Okay, no, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that, Joe.
Good.
But you've got to try some key lime pie if you're ever down in Florida, Joe. Trust me, it's life changing. Let's go to the midday. It's learn to trade and learn to eat pastries.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade During the Midday. That is your boy Joey Options, and in addition,
it's life changing. Let's go to the midday. It's learn to trade and learn to eat pastries.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade During the Midday. That is your boy Joey Options, and in addition, to not liking apple pie or any type of
Any
pie
pie.
or cookies. He's never sold anything on Facebook Marketplace. That may not have anything to do with food, but it strikes me in the wrong area, and I don't like it. I'm just joking.
I told you, I'm a donator, man. I'm a donator, man. Come on.
Shout out to everybody, guys. Thank you for joining. At the open of a gap, okay? The gap, again, just to reiterate, is the difference between the closing price on the previous day and the opening price on the following day. Sometimes we gap up, sometimes we gap down, and you're just looking for the variance. You can take the percentage variance, the dollar variance, whatever. That's what we're looking at, the difference between the closing print and the opening print the following day. So the standard gap and go strategy often involves buying or selling at the open of a gap, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated trend. However, this approach has drawbacks. Number one, typically you might get an unfavorable entry price. So early buying might lead to a higher entry price than is necessary, especially if there are support levels that make sense to pick it up off. And there's also the issue of market volatility. The opening moments can be quite volatile. We all know how that 9:30 to 10 a.m. time slot in trading can be. So think just about that. So it makes it difficult to assess the true direction of the trend, whether we're going to move up or down. Sometimes you'll hear like the boys, there'll be $5 in the money on one trade, and then like literally Literally 30 seconds later, they're flat or they're negative on it. The open is a wild time. Things are zigging, things are zagging. And there's also a little bit of a lack of confirmation. Buying right at the top runs the risk of a false breakout or a lack of continuation in the move. And we know that that is an ever-present danger in trading, these false breakouts and false breakdowns. So the price target entry to the rescue, so to speak. So price target entry addresses these concerns that we outlined above by incorporating a specific price target for your entry rather than simply buying at the open. And here's the process. Step number one, you want to identify the gap, right? So find a stock with a significant price gap up or a gap down at the open, accompanied by high volume. How you determine what is high volume, you may compare it to volume during that time on the previous trading day. You could look at relative volume, but I'd submit to you by, 9:30, by 10 o'clock, you may not be where you need to be in terms of having more than higher than one relative volume, right? Because usually you need the trading day to develop. So make your appropriate comparisons with what constitutes high volume or low volume given that time of day. So that's step number one. Step number two, analyze the trend. Use technical analysis to confirm the intended direction of the trend. You're looking here for support indicators like moving averages and trend lines that are pointing up or pointing down in whatever direction you have a bias on that day. So number one, you identify the gap. Number two, you want to analyze the trend. Step number three, set your target. So based on your analysis and risk tolerance, determine a price target slightly above that bullish gap or below that bearish gap, because remember, we're talking about gappers here, right? For the opening price, the target represents your ideal entry point, okay? And then step number four, you're placing your order, right? Don't chase the market price. Instead, place what I would suggest to be a limit order at your chosen target price. I rarely ever, if ever, I should say, use market orders. This ensures you enter the trade if the price reaches your desired level and not before or after that price. Well, after it could continue to go down. So the benefits of the price target entry, number one, potentially better entry price by waiting for that pullback on the gapper. You might get a lower entry price compared to buying at the open. You also help reduce your risk somewhat. You avoid the initial volatility of the gap, potentially limiting your initial risk. Again, we've talked about the lot of volatility that takes place typically within the first half an hour. and discipline and patience, right? This approach enforces discipline and patience, forcing you to wait for confirmation of the trend before entering. And last but not least, here, levels. Waiting to enter the level or waiting to enter the trade gives you a better sense of what levels the stock is respecting and what areas might make sense for stop losses and profit takers. So you can kind of gauge an intraday high, an intraday low, at least in the first half an hour. So you can kind of understand, oh, the sellers are over here. They seem to be selling at 215. Okay, the buyers seem to be buying at 210. Whatever it is, okay? So just here's one consideration you can think of. Some considerations I should say you should consider before entering these trades. Number one, missed opportunities. The price might not reach your target, causing you to miss the trade entirely. That's part and parcel of the game, especially if you're going to insist on a level that has to get triggered before you enter. The level may not get triggered. You may be just sitting there waiting. Volatility, even with a target, be prepared for short-term price fluctuations around your target zone. That's absolutely normal. And your order management here. Consider using a trailing stop loss order to manage risk as the price moves in your favor, especially if you want to lock in those profits. Also consider taking profit along the way in case the trend reverses. We see that on this desk. You see the Katina man doing it. Neil does it. Joseph as well, wetting the beak, so to speak, on the way up. That is the end of the lesson. I hope everybody prints up a storm.
It's a multiple storms, guys. All right, let's see what we can get cooking up here in QBTS. The space is in play. It does look like it wants to break out. We are having some issues, though. That volume is not really stepping in how we would necessarily like it to. So in order for us to hold on to this position, we need to get that volume to break through this trend line right here. But again, I'm going to get out at 75, just at the low of the range. But I just want to stick to things that are strong. We are up over 8% on the day, and we want to stick to that primary trend, all right? We want to stick to what is relatively strong and help identify that, especially if you're looking for the longs. Someone in the chat also mentioned Robinhood, and I was talking about this recently just due to the fact that I want to get involved in this name. And we can see here from a daily standpoint, a nice recovery off of these lows, 36, and you're getting a 50% haircut, which I really like. So especially under this name, I'm going to look to acquire it, especially at these levels. And I think it's going to do a phenomenal job because we talked about the numbers last week as well. Just 700% in Bitcoin, up 700% year over year in Bitcoin transactions. Options activity is up. Just overall user engagement is up as well too. You have more participants, more retail traders joining this platform. So I really like Hood for a long-term play there, guys. I think it's at a good value right now as well. But let's see. It doesn't seem like it wants to get the steam rolling. I think the market really has to start squeezing and participating in order for us to climb higher. The Qs are starting to trade towards the volume-weighted average price. Not quite yet there, but it is under it. Tesla not doing so good, down 5% again. But I mentioned we're going to hold on to this position until we get stopped out or we come back into the volume-weighted average price. Then I'll just get out, take a small haircut. These are all winning trades here, so you can see that we took it. We took a nice long here on QBTS right off the lows, added to the position through VWAP, and then took about 50% off there, guys. Went back in, 33% stopped out, and the same goes for this one. But it's hovering. We got to break through these pre-market lows from a previous session. I'll pull it up so we can see a little bit clearer. But you can see that we're struggling right at this base, and we need that momentum and those buyers to step in order for us to break through. So what was once resistance now acting as support, and then now flipped back to resistance here, guys. So you can see we have multiple touches. That's a really good base. And in order for us to get through, I'll say it one more time, is that we need that volume and momentum to really kick in, and it's not looking too good right now. We're starting to form somewhat of a cliff on the 1 minute time frame. So yeah, if we break down, punch through the VWAP, then I think this trend to the downside might be fully intact. We're going to need the market to start to participate, but yeah, we'll hold on to it until otherwise. We're not going to get out of we're not going to jump the gun by any means by getting out too early or cutting the position too early, because we have a trade plan. We have a thesis and we're going to stick to it. And that was my game plan coming into this week. I'll show you guys even my notes here. And And once in a while I'll do this just to make sure I get right back on track. Sometimes, and no matter how long you've been doing this, guys, you'll hop out of track. So just daily rules right here. Stop out when supposed to, have defined risk per trade, be patient on the entries, don't scale in until it starts working. We showed you guys that only 3 attempts per ticker and setup, be accurate. And when I mean 3 attempts, that's 3 losing attempts. So if you guys do anything along those lines in the morning just to get yourself psyched up, ready to follow the game plan, because I think that's what you need. Tough week last week, that's fine. It's already off my shoulder. You know why? Because your boy scored the game winner on Sunday, played some hockey, been out for a little while, played a couple weekends ago in the league game. And then, yeah, we were down 2-1, come back and win 6-4. So that was exciting. It was 4-4 tied with a couple minutes left. And your boy got the game winner, making it 5-4 there. So, yeah, a nice little confidence boost, and that's what we want to see. Hopefully, considering that we're sitting on top of this range here now, guys, we can break out. But, again, rejecting 11-10. Volume not stepping in just yet. It is starting to fall off a little bit of a cliff and start to come in a bit. But, yeah, not a good look. If it breaks 11, then I'm assuming that we're going to come in here and touch the volume-weighted average price. So we need to be wary. I mentioned that our stop. So here we go. Couldn't break through. Market wants to take another leg down here. 1075 is going to be the out. We are constructing higher lows, which is a positive sign. So if we can hold this trend, we get a little bit of price action, compression. But if it breaks through VWAP, then I'm just gonna get out of the trade altogether. Joey Crosby, yeah, exactly. Did I buy the dog? Yeah, we got the dog, man. We got the dog, Gorev, yeah, we got the dog. I'll show you guys. Yeah, I'll show you, man. He's a sweetheart. We don't pick him up for another month or so. We'll pull up what we got going on. Well, we're not going to talk about that. It costs a pretty penny. We'll go by the 6 tires. It cost me 6 tires.
Wow.
This guy here, but when you see his little face here, I don't know if you guys can see. Can we focus on
the other camera?
Yeah, maybe we can go here. Maybe we can pull up on this one.
There you go.
That's Milo, I guess, there, guys. So, yeah, the caption is what got me. So, yeah, there he is. So yeah, he's a dub. Yeah, Selena got what she wanted. It's not blonde, but, yeah, I like the darker colored a little bit more because they won't get as dirty. So, yeah, there he is. There's Milo, the new family member. Yeah, Doge. Yeah, there we go. The new family member. Happy to bring him. A little nervous, too, because he can't eat grapes. I love grapes. Dogs can't eat grapes.
No.
So
or popcorn.
Yeah, and popcorn. I've been on the popcorn train as of late as well too. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things. So I gotta do the dog daddy due diligence and see what this guy can and can't eat. Even though I prefer to just feed them dog food, so they're not hovering around the table all the time. So there he is. Milo, the new member of the family.
Milo, that was coming. I was just about to ask. I'm like, what's the name?
Yeah,
bro?
Milo. Yeah, we were gonna go with Rupert. He looks more like a Milo. So yeah, we'll see what we got.
Both would have been good.
Both would have been good. I want to name him Rocket because wiener dogs look like little mini rockets.
I was gonna say to you, I'm like, okay, so he's a little hot dog.
Yeah,
right?
he's a little hot dog.
There has to be some sort of hot dog play on the name.
You know what I mean?
So
Rocket.
Schnitzer, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Schnitzer, yeah.
Schnitzers, whatever the situation is
that's
there.
Funny, but yeah, his little legs are like that big, man. So yeah, a little dashing guy. So maybe we'll get him hunting weasels and stuff like that. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's a big step. Yeah, it's a big step. So I'm gonna take care of the evening duties. Selena will take care of the morning duties, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, here we go, guys. We're starting to break out in QBTS. This is why you stick to the game plan.
Bang.
You stick to that thesis. I told you where we're gonna get out. It's looking like that volume wants to step in here on the lower time frames. We keep punching through, but we're not having any continuation, which isn't overly too good. And we're starting to form this shelf here at 11. So I would really like to see us a breakthrough, and then that next pivot's gonna be our target, 11.15. And then if we can punch through that as well, Sharif, we're gonna look to tap into 11.40, which I think can be in the works. We've been accumulating for quite some time. Hopefully this level can break, and that's what we're gonna hold on for.
All right, makes sense, man. Here's what we're looking at. A couple holdovers from last week, but there are a few new ones. We're talking about RGC, looking real good. A bit more pricey in terms of dollars per share to size in at. We're talking about $18 and a fifth right now, $18.20. So a little bit on the pricier side, but you gotta respect that look at that chart pattern there. respecting the volume weighted average price, a couple of bull flags, good continuation, good percentage up on the day, everything in kind of on the up and up, so to speak. The spread, I can kind of see how it's trading right now. It's a little not great on the spread, but we'll talk more about that as time goes on. MGRM was good. Multiple higher highs, higher lows, good continuation. Now we're kind of on the tail end of the trade. We're below VWAP. We're putting lower highs, lower lows. We're trying to hold 3.5. This one is on my S list until and if it can get above that volume weighted average price area at 380. I like VWAP at this level, both as support and resistance for a couple of reasons. One, because it's VWAP, and I usually use that level for the small cap gappers, as well as that 950 pop. Look at that 950 pop. It goes right up to 380. VWAP right now showing me 377. So essentially one and the same. We're going to keep an eye out on MGRM to see if it wants to catch a bid. This one is having no problem catching a bid. I'm talking about ARQQ right here, up 38 2/3%. It's off the high of the day at 21.75, but look at this, above the 10 exponential, above the breakout area at 2050. I submit to you that that is the area crest. On the closing basis, the wick takes it up to 21. I get all that. Everything's fine. Everything's gravy. It comes back down into 20 after making that 21.75 pop and high of the day. Lo and behold, it holds 20. But unless you had a resting order waiting at that $20 area, or you're super quick and just were fixated onto the screen, you probably didn't get the fill because it didn't spend all that much time down there, which is leading me to my next point. Use resting orders for your entries and for your exits on these small cap gappers. Because they don't spend all that much time in any one level, and I'm slow and kind of dumb, so I can't do anything all that quickly, so I got to get the computer to do it for me. ARQQ, certainly on watch. And then we're going to talk about these quantum names. We had the quantum kind of tailwind this morning with NVIDIA having their quantum day on calm down, bro. March 20th, with GTC starting today. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on Rigetti, knees are heavy, QUBT, QBTS, all the usual suspects for quantum. If they catch a bid, and we've seen this story before, they typically run together. The Katina man had trades on them. I know Joseph was killing it on QBTS today, or what was it, QBTS?
Yeah, QBTS.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I saw what he was doing in the morning. It was a fantastic look, so shout out to him. We're going to be keeping an eye on these bad boys. Rigetti, knees are heavy still. Right now, having trouble with that 1120 level. That 1120 level is Friday's closing print, and it has been respected on the day, both as support and resistance. Let me make my case. So we close out, as I mentioned, on Friday, near the highs, by the way, at 1120. And then look at this morning. We gap up at 4 a.m. We weasel up to 1175. There is a seller of note at 1175, pre-market or not. And in addition to 1175 being the level on Rigetti, 1120 acted as a support level multiple times into the pre, both at 5:10, 6 a.m. multiple times, 7 a.m., then even the institutional print at 8 bounced off there. But that's the last time we would use it as support, that is. Now, in fact, we're using that $11.20 level as resistance on Rigetti, knees are heavy. And that is because it is the closing print from Friday. Chart the closing prints. It costs you nothing. Okay, so going to keep an eye out on that. If we can clear 1120 decisively with good volume and it's put in a good chart pattern, I'm all ears and eyes and whatever else. Okay, we're going to keep an eye out on that. Rigetti, good look right now. I don't have, sadly, too many others in small cap gapper world. It is a bit of a light day. I'm seeing GLMD, so let's load that bad boy on there. GLMD. No, that ain't it, homie. No, that's a piece of crap. It's ARQQ that I thought I was looking at there. All right, allow me a second here to see if there's others. Yes, QMCO. So QMCO, another pricier one, I want to say, because again, it's 18 and change, so much like RGC. We're above Friday's high as well on QMCO. So QMCO is a multi-day runner. It ran on Thursday. It tried to run on Friday, and then it ended up giving back the ghost, and basically closed out flat at basically at Thursday's closing print. ended up closing out 1533, give or take. So it's above the level right now. It's at the 10 exponential. It's got a good bounce off VWAP right at that 1035 time slot. Comes right into VWAP. It gets bought up quite aggressively. For the most part, for the exception of this area where it breaches a 10 exponential moving average on a one candle closing basis, I'm talking about that 1035 pop down into VWAP, it has respected the 10 exponential moving average. So there's another area of possible support for here for QMCO is that 10 exponential. It does sadly have that 19 quadruple top. No, that's more. That's once, twice, OB thrice, and then 4 and 5 times. This QMCO has attempted a $19 break 5 times intraday, all 5 of which have not breached. That is the high of the day. It is putting in higher lows, 1875, yada, 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 in and around that area. It's a bit spready for a small cap gapper like stock. QMCO, technically, it's about $110 million, so market cap, so it is technically a small cap gapper. In any event, it is putting in higher lows, looking for that possible flat top break. We need an animation for flat top break. We say it so often now at $19. So QMCO will be on watch here, Joseph, in addition to these others. It's really, for me, RGC above $17 at VWAP. That's the prime trade. Rigetti above 1120 on a closing basis. ARQQ at 1950 for that VWAP trade. And then QMCO, if you can get a flat top break through that. Those are my money fills. That's what I'll be looking at today. We'll be looking at these small cap gappers, Joseph.
Nice work there, my guy. Yeah, here we go, guys. We're still holding on to this position. I told you we're going to hold it for the break. We are now on the backside of this trend, so we do definitely have to watch this. I mentioned that this cliff that we formed, and then we're now covering that. If the momentum goes to the downside, we crack 1090, I will get out of the trade a little bit earlier, because to me, that's just telling me that this trend here, the construction of higher lows, is going to be no good and not in play anymore. So we have to just kind of readjust and possibly get in a little bit closer to the volume weighted average price, up 7.8%. And I was looking at this thing from a daily standpoint, and it's been trading fairly well since earlier in March here, guys. We're up about over 120% in this name. So yeah, a really, really good look here on QBTS. And I want to get into this quantum space, 129, 140% roughly. I know it's a big variance, but yeah, that's the game plan. I don't want to chase it all the way up here. It looks like we're going to crack. We do have a support level right around 1090 as well. So let's see if this comes into play. Tesla's continuing to move to the downside, so not a good look on that front. I think that this name is strong and the space is strong today, so we're going to just hold off, wait for this primary trend to stay intact and see if it can anyways. But other than that, I know someone in the chat asked me to take a look at some names. Sorry, I had it pulled up, but then I forgot it. Just been concentrating on some other things. But yeah, we'll be really patient. On QBTS, I do believe it's going to break out. Yes, on Friday session, we put in a really strong engulfing pattern, and then now we're sitting on top of the range, so that's a positive sign, and we're just going to look for the continuation. We're coming back towards my entry price, still hovering around 1095. Hopefully this can hold, and if not, then I mentioned that we'll just get out. Now, Hood. I mentioned that we were looking to get in this, but punch through the high of day really well here, guys. Up to 1050 is where that high of day was, now trading at 4120. So really good look there in Hood. I'll pull that up real quick second, because I want to get involved in Hood. I think especially with their numbers, that's what you want to see, especially in a company. I'm not going to compare it to NVDA, but with the growth cycles and everything along those lines, it's a positive signal, and with that, you want to follow it. So, and that's the thing with the quantum space as well too. When Rigetti reported their earnings, they're still not really making any money. So again, I think that's more of a forward-looking play when you're going quantum. You're a couple years out, as Jensen would like to say as well. So yeah, we'll hold on to that. Hood looking really nice for whoever pointed that one. Hopefully it doesn't dump. There is some possible topping signals up here, but again, a nice healthy pullback. about 40%, 30% retraced this move here, and then it looked like you can continue to climb higher and higher. I mentioned that it was down over 50% off of those all-time highs, traded really well after earnings, and then just sold off with the rest of the market. QBTS is breaking through VWAP, so in a couple of seconds, I'm just going to get out of that trade because I don't want to hold it on the backside of it, because it looks like the backside of that trend is working out really, really well, and some of these names. So yeah, there we go. We're all out of that one there, guys. So we'll go 3 for 4 on QBTS, and we're just going to look for the continuation in some of these stronger names. So Robinhood, I like that. We'll keep that in mind. And I also want to note, just looking at the options chain, there's high levels of open interest at 7 on QBTS for this week's expiration cycle. So take that into play, because in this market, those call and put walls are really, really coming into fruition there. So you want to look for the bounce and the rejection of them. We talked about them multiple times last week as well, with the Qs respecting high levels of OI in the options chain. And every name, even the Mag 7 as well too. And with that being said, before we send it back over to my guy, I'm going to take a look at Tesla, because it's so unfortunate that it's continuing to just sell. And we'll take a look at it from a daily standpoint. Yeah, it's already given back everything from Friday and then some, looking like it wants to take another leg lower. We'll take a quick gander at the chain to see if there's anything that stands out to us and might put in that magnet effect and attract us to a certain key level. So on this week's expiration cycle, guys, we're looking at 220, which would be not too good of a look here on the put side. So maybe a little bit of a support wall that can come into play on Tesla to the downside. And then if we're going to look up, 260 has the highest levels of open interest on the call side. I'm not too sure we get there just yet. We are trading around 235. I think 220 can come into play quicker. That would put us the base of this level than what we can get at 260 here in Tesla Street.
All right, Joseph, we're going to take a quick short on Affirm over here. Let's see if we can get short. Why isn't it not letting me in? Oh, here we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and get short on Affirm. My move, okay, it's still not letting me in. That's bizarre. The bid is 73s. There we go. So I'm basically feel here that Affirm has been rejecting the 50 exponential moving average on the 5. So I'm going to give this about 45.20. So let's go ahead and put that order in there. So we're going to look to cover if this breaks 45.20. So it's kind of going against me right now. I didn't anticipate it to just tank right away. So that's what we're looking at. Affirm. I'm going to wait in the low, in the mid 60s over here for the first peak wetter. Let's see if we can get it there. And then let's set up some orders to the downside as well to see if we can get some
recording in
back
progress.
on
I
mean, you look at the charts of any really good overextension, and it's shocking how quickly those things can move when they turn from trending to mean reverting, right? I mean, it's absolutely shocking to see how much they can move. Okay. So mean reversion, good mean reversion, typically involves a lot of failed breakouts that lead to sustained aggressive moves. So aggressive breaks in either direction, and then quick failures and really aggressive moves the other way. Does that make sense? That is the key definition of mean reverting markets, of really good mean reverting markets. It looks like they're going to go. There's a decent amount of volume, decent amount of liquidity, and then it doesn't follow through, and then it kind of comes right back, right? That's what really good mean reverting markets are. What trades work really well in good mean reverting markets?
Backside.
Backside, what else?
Fashionable
Rubber
lates.
bands.
Rubber bands, fashionably lates, yep. Those tend to work very, very well in good mean reverting markets. What's another one if you're using mean reversion on a little higher time frame? Had a great one today in Tesla. Second chance, that's right. When you're in a little bit higher time frame, the second chances work really, really well in good mean reverting markets also. VWAP continuation trades can work pretty well in good mean reverting markets. Does that make sense? Okay. But most of the time it's like the view up continuations are a little bit trickier, but most of the time you want to be thinking about the top 3. Top 4, I guess. Second chance, rubber band, backside, fashionably late. Those are the best ones for mean reverting markets. Okay. Now let's get into consolidation or ranging markets. And the biggest mistake people make in mean reverting markets is what? What's the biggest mistake they make?
They're anticipating.
Yeah, anticipating. That's exactly it. You're anticipating. You have nothing confirming anything and you're just anticipating, right? And that leads to so much frustration. Baidu's finally gonna go. Bob is finally gonna go. PDD's finally gonna go. I was waiting for this in Baidu all day. Bob was really good trending, but these are, yeah, Billy too. All the Chinese names are just gonna go bananas today. Today's the day for that. But again, they've been consolidating and now they're trending. So these are really good trending style trades. Okay. Let's get into consolidating or ranging type markets for market context. So trending is where it breaks a range and goes in that direction, right? Mean reversion is where it tries to break the range and then goes in the other direction. Consolidation or ranging is what? What would be a key definition of consolidation or ranging markets? Price within a defined range. That's a good thing. Yes, lower volume is the number 1. Yep. Volatility compression. What's a good way to measure volatility compression? ATR, Bollinger Bands. Declining ATR is a really good way to do that. That's the best way to do it, honestly, is the declining ATR. If you see the range of a stock, if you look at a stock and it traded $4 today and it was trading $6 the prior day and $8 the prior day, and then it trades $3, that is really what you expect. You expect it to come down when it's consolidating or ranging. Does that make sense? What types of trades do you look for in ranging markets? You take that mean reversion market and what do you take off of that? You certainly don't look for second chances. You certainly do not look for second chances, right? In ranging markets, Bella fades are exceptional. Mean reversions as well, but only on the edges of the move. But Bella fades are really exceptional. Rubber bands are really exceptional. Trying to think of everything else. Backsides are usually really, really good. Fashionably lates are a little tougher, right? But those are really kind of the things that we're thinking about, okay? What's the best thing that you can do in a ranging type market for your trading?
Scalp.
Sorry?
Scalp.
Scalp, that's it. Expect less follow through. Look for really defined price patterns, right? Little tiny range breaks on an intraday basis when something's in a different range is a really, really good way to do it. You're looking for little ideas of where support and resistance are. And so when something moves into support or resistance, you're going to really pay attention to the tape in that area and looking for a sell program to end and a buy program to kick on. You're not going to hold your trades for very long. You know, you're gonna sell when it gets to your target. You're going to be a little more precise. And in reality, you might be trading a little bit less. Does that make sense? You're going to be a little more selective. Okay. So those are the three big versions of these. So to summarize today, and then we'll get into what we're going to talk about. The market context is really kind of the environment that dictates our trade selection. And I have notes up here, charts up here, and options window right there. So I'm looking at things right now. And then our video right in front of me. But the environment that kind of dictates the trade selection. So carry that forward through this entire 2-week period. The market context is going to be the environment that dictates the trade selections. There are three kind of key market environments for us to pay attention to as we approach the entirety of the next 2 weeks. There's trending. There is mean reverting. And then there's balancing or consolidating. Those three, that's it. Each type of environment will have different variables, and it will also have to identify that environment, but it'll also have different types of trades that are going to work best in that environment. That's great, Matt. We'll take a look. I'll take a look at that. Thank you. So you have it broken down by the categories. That's great. Thank you for sharing this. So, you know, you're probably going, and you have it broken down by trades too. That's great. But you're probably going to want to break it down even a little bit more with the context that we're providing this week. So the only other thing that I want to say, and this is a challenge for everybody, and this is kind of what we're going to challenge everybody with. Before tomorrow, I want people to go back through their last 10 trades or go back through 10 trades. It doesn't have to be your last 10, but ideally you're going to go look at 10 trades, right? Did your trade fit the context in that environment? Was the trade that you were making the appropriate trade given the context? That's the first question you're asking. Or would another of trade have been a better fit for that context? And Matt's given us a cheat sheet, so you can kind of look and use that. And then tomorrow we're going to start to get into like how to recognize these options. We're going to recognize these environments and kind of more in real time, but at least go back through and look at that, okay? Pick 10 trades and figure out, was this the right trade to make that I made given the market context, right? And so today we kind of started by, you know, asking ourselves why in one market context, some trades will work, and in another market context, they'll fail miserably and make trading really, really hard. Tomorrow, we're going to learn how to quickly identify the key variables within each of these. You know, we're going to hopefully eliminate some of that guessing and frustration that occurs. And then the biggest thing you have to remember through all of this, through the next 2 weeks and through everything in your trading is there is not randomness in the market. There is random price action and random kind of moments, but the market is not random. It's actually an opportunity generating machine. The market is an opportunity generating machine, and we're spending the next 2 weeks learning how to read what sort of opportunities the market is generating for us. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care, everyone. Hope everyone has a good rest of the day. And then we will see you guys tomorrow as well.